All right, I think we are live. I'm just going to go ahead and refresh our page on YouTube just to make sure. Yep, we are. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. So, disappointment right away. I couldn't get my second camera to work. I tried to get my GoPro to be a second camera here, but that's not going to happen. So we're just going to do a single camera again, like we did last time, but it should be okay. So today we have a really fun little stream. I had a good time doing the stream last time, so I figured it'd be fun to do it again. And this one is going to be really interesting. We have a completely different type of machine. I've never seen one like this before. I have seen some photos of other companies that have something similar, but I've never had anything firsthand like this. So when HICTOP messaged me and said, hey, they have this new machine and it's totally pre-production, they just want me to take a look. I agreed because I think this thing is just awesome. The way that it works, and maybe you guys saw from the preview photo there, is all of the axes on this machine are the same. They're this extrusion that has a screw through it and the stepper. It's kind of like a self-enclosed system, and it's just placed around in this orientation to make a printer. So I think there's some other companies that I don't need to say, I guess, the brand that do something similar, but I've personally never seen it before. So I thought it'd be really cool for us to check it out together, since this is really different than the majority of other machines that we have opened and tested here on this channel. So I thought it'd be fun. So one thing they did tell me, and I want to get this out of the way right away, is this is a pre-production machine. So apparently there's a couple things on here that weren't done when I had this. And I've had this here for months and I just haven't had time to get to it. But they've apparently fixed a few hardware issues that they had here. Not issues, but hiccups, and definitely firmware. So if we get to the point of having this machine run, I'll have to find the firmware that they sent me, because in hindsight, I probably should have pulled that up and had that ready. But hey, we're checking this out together. So hey, Fabrizio, hey, what's going on from last time? Rockaway Cafe, hey, nice to see you here. I'll try to reply to messages as they come in as we figure this thing out. Guys, if you see an audio or visual issue, please let me know. This is only the second time I've ever done a live video, I guess, so it'd be nice to know. Craftworks, what's up? This guy does some awesome prints. Go follow him on YouTube. And I have my hot coffee here. I have a little brewski when we get a little extra thirsty. So why don't we just dive in, right? So on top here, I have a brand new filament by 3D Max. You guys know I'm a big fan of 3D Max, and this is their newest. Well, some of their newest, but these colors just look awesome. We have, let's see what the names are, teal and fuchsia. So if we go to print on this machine, and I can't make any promises, I mostly just want to check out the hardware here. But really, if we get to the point, we'll decide on which one we pop in here to print something. All right, so I'll be popping up and down and in and out because I don't have much space here on this desk. This thing is actually super heavy. You see 20 kilograms. It is a really heavy box. I think everything in here is aluminum, so it's definitely hefty. So let's get this box undone. What do you guys think of something like this? I don't know if you know anything about this machine or similar machines, but where all the extrusions have a lead screw in it. So it's kind of like a self-enclosed system. It's really interesting to me. And there's got to be a reason why it's either A, not popular, or maybe just the expense thing. If you look online right now, this machine, I think I put links in the description. I think the machine's around $600. So it's not crazy expensive. Local maker, I use quite a bit of 3D Max and I like it. Me too. I use tons of it. Tons and tons and tons of filament, just empty spools all around me. And yeah, I love the filament as well. That's why I've been standing behind it. Ron, I put everything single color in 3D Max. Works great. Actually, let me test this. Yeah, we can do this. There we go. I can put you guys on blast now. Yeah, me too. It's great. All right. And yes, the table might shake a little bit here and there. We'll figure it out, right? All right, lots of foam as per usual. So we like to see. Let's see if I can put this thing down. Also, guys, I do have some background music on. And I know last time we tested this background music, it was extremely loud. So please be sure to let me know in the comments. If it is too loud, I'll turn it down, I'll turn it off, whatever it might be. I just figured it might be better than silence in case, I'm not talking. What are the benefits of this style printer? Well, if all the axes are the same, it might be easier to maintain, assemble. It would be modular. I guess it would be easier for them to just make as well, since they don't have to make several different things. It's kind of like a single module for each axis. I just think it's a really interesting idea. I don't necessarily know right off the top of my head. Like, I'm not an engineer, I'm just the designer that's really into 3D printing. But off the top of my head, I can't like see a direct benefit, but it's just so interesting to me that it doesn't use belts, that it uses lead screws. And I know a lot of like CNC machines and more industrial machines use that. They're just a lot more robust because of that. So I don't know. I guess we're going to find out, right? Sounds like it'll be hard to fix, including, yeah, it might be, but that's why I want to take a look at this, because otherwise, well, I just think that me doing a live stream is kind of interesting because they seem kind of fun, but yeah, I think more people should see this, right? Like, this is a new thing, or maybe it's not new, maybe it's new for 3D printing, but yeah. So here it is. Like, let me try to get this out of the way. Here is one of the axes. So it's on a linear rail, right? So I can't like freely move it because it's on an actual lead screw. So this is a linear rail with bearings, and you can see the stepper motors right there, kind of like inside. I mean, this is just, super robust. Like, it feels like a legitimate machine. And here we have looks like a telephone. It's not even Cat 5. It's like a old telephone cable for a wire. Interesting. Yeah, I can tell this machine's been together before. But yeah, that's totally fine. Pre-production, I just think it's amazing that, one, I have this opportunity, and I'd really like to use the opportunity to show you guys this, like show more people that this type of thing even exists. Because honestly, in a sea of all these extremely similar 3D printers where I'm basically unboxing them and testing them over and over again to see what that one little thing that they did different is, and see like if that little one thing is better or worse. This is an entirely different style machine, so I'm really intrigued by it. I don't hear, but I have 3 streams. 3 streams! Wow, multitasking. I don't hear anything either. Oh, okay, well, that's good. I'd rather you not hear it than hear it too much, Actually, let's see. So if I go back to down here, I have it down really low. So let's see. I'll get it to 10. You guys hear this? Let me know in the comments. Michael Strange got me curious. Yeah, me too. No. Fabrizio, no. All right, well, that's okay. All right, let me just keep going. Can you guys hear me okay, though? That's all that really matters, right? Slightly, okay. All right, so we got some filament. I like to see a cardboard spool. Good job, guys. Use more of this stuff, everybody. It'd be really nice to get rid of that non-usable plastic gone from filament. Cool, I see a lot of yeses. Sweet. All right, let's keep going. All right, I got this little box. Not box, bag. Zippy bag. Let's see what's in here. HICTOP. So, by the way, as far as I know, the only way I've ever heard of HICTOP before was they did components for like Ender style machines. I have a few build materials by them, not build materials, build plates that were actually really good quality. I had one on my Magician X. There is some filament that they also sent, and I did test one of the rolls perfectly fine. They have some basic color filaments. Let's see what's in here. Wow, okay. That's a little tool. Are the heads in here? Yeah, look at that. That's nice to see. Very nice. Nice to see quality tools. We have a telephone. Wow, I haven't seen these in ages. So this is a plug that lets you join two telephone cables together. We have a splitter. I'm assuming this is how it's going to communicate with itself. I'm guessing this is for the bottom, the Y, because the Y has two. We have all of the little hardware. Nice hardware, mind you. Looks like pretty good quality. Let's see. Hot end, I don't know anything about it, honestly. We're discovering it together. I thought it'd be really fun to do it that way. Usually when I do the videos, I prepare, I learn a lot about it beforehand. I don't really know much about it. I just think it's cool, and I want to kind of put it together, just kind of talk about it, show it off, and yeah, maybe then if you guys are all interested, then I'll do a further video on it after I test it. Yeah, we got telephone wires. Good way to recycle old hardware. There's probably so much of that stuff everywhere. Coffee break. All right, we have a manual. That's a thick boy. Let's see what we got going on in here. It is a good looking machine, by the way, and obviously we'll see it, but it's all aluminum. It's really nice looking. And I also find it interesting that this is their entry to 3D printers, you know? As far as I know, I don't know of at least a popular machine by HICTOP. Maybe it is somewhere else in other countries, maybe. But yeah, as far as I can see, the assembly is going to be really straightforward. It looks like 3 or 4 pieces of hardware, just attach everything together. And that's another interesting part. Like the hot end just kind of slides on here. Just mounts right up. I actually like that the instructions are like one thing at a time instead of several, which is nice. It goes all the way into the menus. Looks like there's a Cura installation, so that's good. If we need to get there, we will. Let's keep going. All right, so we got the hot end here. All right, here is the module. It's quite hefty. Looks like we have a Titan style extruder. I see a filament sensor in the lever. All right, so we have a 24 volt. Yep, 24 volt. Was it a 4015, 4020 blower fan? And this is one of the things they mentioned. So this fan is hot glued on here, but that is not how it will be in the production model, and it is not how it is already. I have a really early model, and they were kind of worried that I was going to do an unboxing, but I assured them that I will let everyone know that this is pre-production and that I literally am choosing to do this because I think it would just be cool to showcase something so different, you know, like as I discover it, you know. But yeah, it's a direct drive extruder here. It looks like a pretty short path. I see a volcano style hot block here. I see some thermal paste. That's nice. We have a full size stepper. We have a 40 millimeter fan on the side. This looks like a sensor for leveling. Looks like an optical sensor right over here. Yeah, nice and compact here. There's a metal heat sink that everything is on. This is all really nice looking. I like the textured, like powder coated finish. I'm assuming that's what it is. I assume it's powder coated. Let's go ahead and set this off to the side here. All right, what else we got? Here we have the little screen. Look at this little module. And it's also using a telephone style cable, slightly different plug. These look like Cat 5 or something similar cables. Yeah, look at that. Little guy. Boop, 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 boop. Almost like a rotary phone. Is it a direct drive machine? Yes, direct drive. we got some bracketry. Like I said, everything's metal. Let's see here. There is more. All right, we got a power cable. I'm guessing this is the top of the gantry there, from what I saw. So the filament, the spool holder, this is actually the spool holder, right? So the other side goes like this. There's a magnet, yep, like that. And you just lift this thing up, slide your filament spool right on there. You're good to go. RJ11 connectors, different for sure. Yeah, thanks for the name. I just don't know. Not familiar. All right, so we have a PTFE tube with a PTFE connector. It's a good connector, actually. I hate these things, but this one's good. These are the kind that you like buy aftermarket. What this is for, I don't know. Is this something that goes on the top? No. Is this for a reverse Bowden? I don't know. But it's definitely a nice direct drive, simple setup. So not quite sure what that's for, but we will find out. I'm thinking maybe some kind of reverse Bowden. Is that a metal spool holder? Yeah, so far everything I've taken out is metal. Even the holder for the display is metal. This thing is going to be robust. Hey, Discord gang. What's up? What's up? Discord in the house. All right, let's take out some of these extrusions. So I'll move the box down in a second, then we'll get a better view. So there's 3 on this top level of the box. All right, let me get this box down so I can get to the next section. Hefty. You have a little miscellaneous bolt here, or nut rather. I'm guessing it went with this just because it was in the same spot. Don't know what this is for yet. All right. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I was right. It's kind of a reverse Bowden setup. Looks like there is an ear somewhere. Yep, right over yonder. And that is where you install that so that the filament has a nice path. Let's stash this somewhere so that I forget about it later and complain about a mess in my room. Right? What do you guys thought so far? Interesting? What do you think? All right, let's figure out a way to take this out because it is packaged extremely well. Let's see, do I kind of pull the sides off here? The foam is really nice, not the kind that goes everywhere. So yeah, it looks like you kind of like take pieces out one by one until the whole thing's uncovered. He's nicely protected down there. Wow, that is a big, big base. Let's see if I can get my fingers under there. So far, that's going to be a no dog. Let me take off this PEI spring sheet. Looks like smooth and not. Can't tell if this is printable on the back, but wouldn't matter. I love the textured side of these. And this is a 300 by 300 by 290, I believe. I think it was on the box. Let's see. 300 by 300 by 290. Yeah, so pretty big. All right. Come on out of here, machine. This packaged so well, can't we get it out? All right. Wow, that is hefty. That is definitely hefty. That's gonna be the back. That's the front. Let's put the front towards you guys. Wow, that is heavy. All right, so definitely looks like a pre-production unit in that it's been assembled before and tested on, which I absolutely do not mind. I would rather the machine be tested and working than be a dud. But like I mentioned before, and I think I'm going to keep saying it kind of in this stream, this machine is definitely a pre-production model, and they wanted me to make sure that I'm fully aware that some of the things that are on this one have already been addressed and fixed. All right, let's get this out of the way so I don't trip up just by moving around my room. But yeah, so far packaging's really nice. Everything so far is cool. I'm actually kind of surprised, to be honest, that it is $600 something. My desk will crumble under the weight. Yeah, Wes, it's hefty, and this is like a standing desk attachment onto another desk, and I'm just waiting for the day of a full collapse. But I'm hopefully I'm going to redo the whole studio here shortly. I have to get through 3 more machines after this, and then I'm gonna tear this thing up and redo it. I have stipple back here. Whoever built this, I'm in my basement here in my house, and whoever built this decided to make this pre-built shelving area that I've been using for prints. But the back wall is stippled like a ceiling. Can't stand it. The other thing is all of the electrical for the house is behind those built-in shelves. So if I ever pop a circuit breaker, guess what I'm doing? I'm taking all this off. So this is going to be gone. I'm going to redo it. Don't quite know exactly how, but I'm going to make this a little bit better for me to be doing this more comfortably in. So, because I'm having fun with you guys, you know? Might as well invest more time. All right. Let's see. Should we look at the instructions? I don't know. So on the back, there's a bunch of plugs for us to plug everything in. Let me show you. Oh gosh, this thing is hefty. So there we go. We have all the plugs on the back there. That's where all the cables are going to go. It looks like we will have to pick this thing up to get things screwed down onto here. I'm just assuming at this point. Yeah. Here, let's do you guys see the bottom? Probably not. Let's see. Let's show you the bottom. Yeah, it's big. So that's what we have on the bottom. We have the power supply fully enclosed. This thing is just a chunk of, I'm guessing aluminum, but maybe it's steel. I don't know. Actually, where's the magnet? Do I have a magnet somewhere? Isn't this thing a magnet? Oh, I got magnets. Ah, they're too far. This is a magnet. Aluminum. All right. Oh, that's what that hardware's for, right? So there's these L brackets that kind of hold up the Z-axis. Let me go ahead and remove this sticker that's covering the plug. You know, it's kind of hard to get your hands underneath. So on the sides, they have this recess where your whole hand goes under. I think you can see it right there. Cast iron? I guess it could be. It's definitely cast. Definitely cast. Oh, this thing tells you to check the voltage. Actually, let's do that before I add more metal to this thing. Gosh. I just noticed that the bed has no springs on it. It's just sitting on 2 linear rails, and it is fully insulated. So that's nice. It also looks like the aluminum bed is the heating element, so it's one of those together scenarios. No wiring sticking out, just besides where the USB and SD cable is. Looks like we have a fan here for some cooling of some sort. All right, here we go. We need to get to here. And we are set to 115, so should be good. It looks like it's made out of old power poles from an office. Has the same color. Yeah. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, maybe that's one of the applications for something like this, where there isn't exposed motors and lead screws. You know, like I say, sometimes some of these machines, maybe not this one specifically, because it kind of they hide it, but a lot of machines, like a typical Ender, looks like a machine. You know, it kind of looks almost intimidating to some people. You walk up, there's all these wires and fans, and maybe that's the thing here. Everything looks friendly. All right, that's enough of me staring. Let's figure it out. Patrick, how you doing, man? Anker makes country cousin. Yeah, Anker does have. All right. Okay. Yep. That was the brand. That was one of the brands that has a similar type of looking machine. Hey, from Mexico. How you doing, Raphael? Anker, Snapmaker. Yeah, if they had a baby. All right, let's see. Who reads these things, right? All right, step one, flip this thing upside down. Fantastic. All right, let me get the tools ready so that we juggle ever so gently less, but I'm gonna be juggling. All right. Getting my little Hodo tools. I probably should have charged this thing. I've been really enjoying this tool. It is on the pricey side, but one of my favorite things about it is when you select the amount of power you want, it has a dead stop. So it doesn't just keep going, or you know, it kind of like stops when it gets to the torque. Really nice, actually. Oh, it doesn't line up with the audio. Yeah, that's possible. So all of these things have some level of delay, and I'm using, you know, earpods and my iPhone for the camera, so not the most professional setup. But you know, just like I started on this channel, I just kind of went into it with my phone, and once I got a feel for it and got an understanding of everything, I got better equipment. I plan on doing the same thing here. So I'm sure the few, you know, as I start doing live, if you guys like this thing, if it's, you know, if it's entertaining to everybody, you know, I'll get dedicated hardware for doing live stuff. Right now, my camera, I use a D5500. I can't use my main as a camera, as a video camera. The maximum the lens can be open is 20 minutes, even if you hack the firmware on it. So unfortunately, you just can't do it, and I can't really afford another camera like that right now. So for now, we're gonna have to do the phone, and it's way better than the webcam that's built into my MacBook. So for now, you know, my apologies for the slight delay, guys. All right, let's get this going. Let's see what hardware we got in here. M3x16, M3x8. Okay, so it's only just a difference of size. Raphael says, Heather, this, oh yeah, I can call you guys out. I forgot. Have to disable some audio sharing between my earphones and my watch. Working now. Okay, cool. Everything looks good. Nice. All right, let's keep going. I do have a little tray I could use here, a little magnetic tray that's completely filled with other tools and other hardware. Let's just dump it into a bin and then get to it never, right? All right, here we go. This little guy should be nice. Throw that in there. Get organized, you know? It looks like a workout just to put together. You know, it's also because I'm weak. You put a big, strong man back here and wouldn't have this problem. All right. You know what? Should I be using their tool? Oh, okay. That's going to be a problem. That's sticking to it quite well. You know, their tool's kind of cool. Let's check it out. Wonder if I can get their bits to work with my stuff. This is nice. This is a nice little set for them to include. If I can get the tools out. Do they pull out like this? These are the problems that I run into, right? Haven't even gotten a chance to put the printer together. I'm over here messing with the tools. All right, let's get the right one out this time. I'm going to assume it's this guy, 2.5. Let's see. Oh yeah, so nice. Very, very nice. And this should fit my tool. This should fit my tool. It does not, because it's the smaller size, so that's a bit of a bummer. Oh well. Let's see, do I even have a 2.5? That's a 3. Yeah, they pull out just like that. Yep. All right. This should be a 2.5. All right. Just want to have the right tools ready. You know? All right. So it looks like there's a whole bunch of 16 millimeter bolts here. So it should be somewhat simple to put together. Where are we at? Where are we at? All right, I'll keep this handy. Okay, that's a little better. All right, is there a difference between these? Here's my assumption here. So the way that they were packaged is we have 2 in this orientation, like that, and 1 was in the middle. So I'm just gonna assume that this one we are going to use for the X, and these 2 are going to be for the Z. Now, what's the bottom? Oh, okay, so the bottom is where the plugs are. Raphael says, by the way, your videos gave me the push I needed to buy a 3D printer, which I wanted to do since I was studying a mechatronics technical career. Ooh, fancy words. I haven't even read that before. Later mechatronics degree, and now I even work at an R&D. That's awesome to hear, man. I'm very glad to have helped in some way, shape, or form. I'm glad you're having fun and using it for work. That's awesome. That is awesome. Thanks for the inspiration, man. Keep going. Hey, man, it's really nice to hear that type of thing. So I appreciate it, man. I'm happy. Like I said, I was able to help in some way, shape, or form. That's fantastic. All right, so how many do we need? There's a ton of hardware. Do we really need this many? Wow. So that's 8. Do I need 8? Yeah, all 8. Holy moly. All right. And which size do we need? Yeah, there are literally 16 screws, and they have, each one of them has a locking washer. This machine is going to be so robust. So robust. That's incredible. Okay. I guess the question is, how do we set this up to work on it? Because this is going to be quite uncomfortable to do. Maybe I'll just do the classic hang off the edge of the table scenario. It's gonna be heavy. All right, let's get some of these threaded in just a little bit and go from there. So each one gets its own little washer. This might take over an hour. So you guys better have some free time or take a little break at some point. Come back. Under 7 frame. I never got a chance to check out the under 7, and some might say that's a good thing. All right, start a couple of these, and then what I'm going to do is I have this piece of this desk that's kind of like a thing that would hold a keyboard normally. I'm going to remove it so that I have some more space. That's where I keep my tools usually. All right, let's see. Go have a sandwich. Man, now I want a sandwich. Wow, this is such a different machine. I wonder what the noise levels are going to be like, since it's all lead screw. I guess it's not necessarily going to be loud just because it's on lead screws, right? Enigma. I work in R&D also for an airplane company. That's really cool. My dad, I guess before I was born, worked on repairing airplane engines, and he got into, I guess when about college age, he got into repairing some of the machines that they used there, like old mills and stuff. And he realized that some companies would get rid of them and he could fix them. So over time, he started collecting these machines, and he ended up having a few of his own. And he ended up starting his own business, kind of like manufacturing car parts. This was a long time ago, guys. This is, I guess, late 70s. Oh, crap. And eventually he started his own business making car parts, like simple car parts, and repairing cars. And had a car shop that would essentially bring in these really old Russian cars and back in the motherland. And he would fix them, sometimes manufacturing his own parts. Kind of cool. That's all long gone. That was Soviet Union time in Uzbekistan. But I guess that's why I ended up liking cars and machines, and I guess I'm not really in that field. Definitely in the design field, but I've always had an appreciation for this type of stuff. How many more of these do we have? All right, looks like I need one more to thread in. Incredible amount of hardware. All right, and I wonder what the alignment is going to be like, because there is a little bit of play. I'm going to go in a circular, like skipping every other type scenario, and see if I can tighten these things up in that order. Maybe it'll be all straight. I don't know. How do you say that? Cadence Craftworks. Caden. Yeah, it's got to be Caden. With all that metal just MIG welded together. I do like welding. I'm horrible at it. So bad. Embarrassing. But I love being able to do something. On my old Impreza that I don't have anymore, I built my own exhaust. That was really fun. So one thing to note about this tool that I'm using is I had their Hodo tools, like smaller micro tools, and I wish I had it when I was building these RC cars. That would have been perfect, but I broke it. I tried to do this with it, and it was not meant for it at all. Totally my fault. But this thing This thing has been incredible. I actually don't know the last. Oh, I need more. I actually don't know the last time I charged this, and that's really nice. It's fast. It's powerful, and I love the fact that it stops, and I also like the fact that I can continuously turn it. Like some of them, once they get to the end there, you can't use it to kind of tighten. You need another bit. This one's good. Must have been a Lada. Yeah, it was a Lada. What were they called? Like 2.6. It was like a 4-number thing. I was too young to know. I was too little. But yeah, it was definitely a series of Ladas. And I'd love to somehow import a Fiat version or something, because you can't get Soviet cars in the United States. But I've looked into it, and it's pretty much, I keep getting hardware. It's pretty much impossible to get one of those things over here to work on. But I do think there's some way to get a similar Fiat. And actually, I really want to also get at some point in my life a Mark 1 Volkswagen, and the Mark 1 Jetta just to remind me of them. They have that similar vibe. Those people that aren't into cars right now are like, oh, wrong stream. Enigma, that's great. I brought an old mill and lathe home so far. Maybe a little break a CNC someday. Yeah, man, that would be really cool. One of my personal life goals, and this could be way later down the road, but at some point I would love to have something that would allow me to produce an object in metal. I don't care if it's additive or if it's CNC. I just want to be able to do that. It's like a dream of mine, and this is definitely the closest that I've ever been to something like that, being able to print like ABS or, you know, PTG, ASA, but metal, yeah, that would be a dream. Welding is an art. You either have it or you don't. Yeah, I mean, it's just like everything else. It's practice, right? Like, you have to practice day in, day out, and then you'll get better at it. It's definitely, I have a, you know, crazy respect for anyone who welds, but I'm happy enough to be able to like weld something in the yard together in case, I don't know, a lawnmower breaks or something simple where I can tack it a few times and grind it away to make it look half decent painted. That's where I'm at. It doesn't have to be an art form for me, but I definitely enjoy a nice weld, if that makes sense. I respect it. Gonna need to charge it? Yeah, definitely. I definitely might have to charge it after this. I only got one side in so far. This thing is just a behemoth. All right, let's flip this thing and get to the other side. I'm gonna squish that cable. We'll have to figure out how that plugs in. I'm guessing some of those adapters that were with it come into play. And there's also, even though this has 8 pieces of hardware down at the bottom, it is metal on metal, not going anywhere. Even with that said, they have these brackets that go here. Like, this thing will survive nuclear winter. Let's see, should I just go auto? Let's see what happens. I was kind of starting these things manually, but what if we YOLO it? I would hate to destroy some of this stuff. Okay. Maybe this will work and save us some time. Darren, sounds like mine was a Kickstarter. It came with a wiping attachment. Yes, a screwdriver I got for the company. Send me step files for Fusion. I must have missed some other thing. You have this from a Kickstarter? Darren? After the sanctions of Russia, reckons a lot will shoot up. Man, yeah. That whole thing is just insane. I have family from Ukraine. My family was originally from Ukraine, but also Belarus. And we ended up, well, my family before me ended up in Uzbekistan when the Nazis were invading. So I'm originally from there, moved here when I was 7. How much does it weigh? A ton. A ton. It weighs an absolute ton. The box is 20 kilograms. I don't know. It's super heavy. Very, very robust machine. Try Canada for lattice. Can I get it from Canada to the United States? Is that a thing? Really? They had dealerships until 1998? I have no idea. Huh. I don't know. I've never seen one. Like if you go to like a Cars and Coffee or something, where people tend to bring kind of wacky cars. I've never seen a Lada. I think I would literally scream out loud. It's just for pure nostalgia, literally nothing else. Oh, Darren, the screwdriver. Oh, okay. Wiping attachment. Interesting. I don't even know what you mean by that. Whipping? Wiping? It is a new printer. As on the internet, it says no longer available. This machine says no longer available. I think there were like 5 or 6 of them yesterday. At least on Amazon. And you can check their official website. I honestly, I don't know more details about it. I just thought that this thing is so different, it's worth checking out. And that's as far as my thought process went there. Autos need to be 25 years old to import. I mean, Ladas are ancient, so it's not that. I don't think you can bring... I don't think it's possible for some regulation to bring in a car from Russia. Right? Like, I think it's the opposite. You can bring in cars to Russia, but I don't think you can import them here. Yes, yes. If it works well, I may buy one. I love their linear stuff. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Did I get them all? One more? One more. There's so many, you lose track. Too many? Probably too many. All right, like 6 would have been fine. 4 would probably have been fine. All right, 2 more. I guess they are rather small, like the hardware itself, right? So maybe that's something. Yeah, no more. Wow, okay, so the people are buying these. Let's get this up on the screen. That's... Yes. Name checks out. Or banner checks out. That's hilarious. Yeah, I remember there was this moment that I remember my dad. So this was pre-seatbelts. I was a little kid. I guess I was like 5, 6 years old. Like, this is a long-term memory here. But I was driving, and I was sitting in the bench seat in the back, in between the 2 front seats, and he had to slam the brakes for something. My dad. And I wasn't holding on. I was like pissing him off. And he slammed the brakes and I flew and broke the rear view mirror with my head. Yeah, that car is just... It's a bucket. It's definitely a bucket. And they would weld them together. They would put like 3 cars together. And they would just continuously drive that thing. That's how it is. All right, so we got those done. Now... let's see what the next step is. I'm going to assume we put on these brackets, right? No, according to this, we put on everything else. When do we do the brackets? Afterwards. Okay. All right, so we keep this in this direction because it looks like we put on the hardware from this side on these little plates. All right, let's figure this out. Which side does this go on? This is so interesting. It's like putting together IKEA furniture, but metal. All right, and I'm guessing we need the 8 mils here. Yes. So every single little tiny piece of hardware has a little washer on it. Amazing. This side for the wire, right? Yeah, the right side. I need my driver. Let's see. Is it this easy? It's that easy. Please don't tell me there's 8. Okay, at least there's 6 for these. Now I just have to get this tiny little thing up here. Actually, you know what? Let's send it down. Also, if you guys notice, I didn't put the PI sheet on there while you're working. And if it had glass, I would have taken it off. Just a little pro tip while you're assembling a machine. Ask me how I know these things. All right, so interestingly enough, that doesn't line up. So what have I done here that's wrong? Oh, is it just the inside that gets them? All right, let's undo that. So yeah, it looks like every one of these plates is like, this whole thing's meant to be super modular and universal. So the way you mount it is different. Like, I should have looked at that earlier. Yeah, does this line up? Yeah, okay. So there's just these 4 for this. Yeah, I should probably just actually like look legitimately with my eyes on how to install this. So it looks like they're saying 3. Where would the third one go? Oh, this little guy, isn't it? Isn't that a little sneaky one? Okay, so top, bottom, and then middle one on the very outside here. It's nice. Like, this is nice. There we go. Now it's all looking like it should. Let me get this one started by hand. I love the little tool they included. Very nice. All right, now we should be able to just zip it in, zip it out, as they say, right? Let me get a couple of these ready. 1, 2. So I need 2 for that side and 2 for that side. Can you guys hear the music now? I don't remember if you said you could or not. And I know it's on repeat, but it's like a little jazzy flow. Let's see. Darren said Fender. That's autocorrect. Feder, I have a choice. I have to get rid of one of my printers, Neptune 3, or Thinker SE, but I don't know which one to keep. Which one would you keep? Size or tech? I don't know what that last part means, to be honest with you. What's a Thinker SE? I'm trying to remember what that is. I'd have to look that up to see what it is. I mean, the Neptune 3 seems like a solid little machine. Seems like it's upgradable if you needed it to, and Elegoo is not going anywhere in terms of a brand. I don't remember what the Thinker SE is. I feel like it's an older one. They should call this printer the Beast. Yeah, this thing is nuts. And, you know, I like a robust machine. Like, this thing, I feel like, was super robust. But this is a whole different thing. Honestly, I think I would keep the Neptune 3. I don't remember off the top of my head what the Thinker SE is, to be honest with you. Pick the one that's more reliable. Right? Like, if they've both been reliable, which one did you have to do less to? It's probably the Neptune, I'm assuming. That's the one I would hold on to. All right, looks like I can't quite get something aligned here. I got to be careful. I don't want to strip anything. There it goes. Very nice. So I should have one on the outside over here and one at the top here. And this gantry should be up. And maybe I'll lower the table or something. Actually, it'd be so hard to lower the table with everything on here. So I'll just have to tippy toe for the top. We'll figure it out. All right, and for this one, I'm gonna have to rotate the machine. Wow, it is so heavy with that on there. Wow. I thought that Ming the Pro was heavy. This thing is nutty. All right, so that should be on there. And it is, and it feels tight. Everything's metal on metal. No nonsense here. It does look cast, like everything, or if it's not cast, it has this texture to it. Like it's all been like sandblasted and painted or powder coated. It's really nice. All right, we'll have to figure out how this wiring is going to work in a bit here. All right, let's keep going. So it says to put on the hot end, so let's do that. I guess you do the back and the wire management after. I'm trying not to just destroy this table with this thing. It does have rubber feet on the bottom, but they're like on the corners, so you can't have it hanging off. All right. Oh, everyone. Yeah. Okay. Now I kind of remember. It's like a CR10S. Yeah, I mean, that's a big machine. So one thing that I could say is one of my favorite machines right now is the Artillery Sidewinder X2. And that's a 300 by 300 machine. Now, if I was to print smaller stuff and I had an option, honestly, I might pick the little Tron. Like this little Tron. Is it off the screen here? This little guy, like the fact that the build plate is smaller, everything kind of like heats up faster, you know, although that one specifically heats up fast. Yeah, I see why you're asking this question. It's kind of tough. 300 by 300 machine would mean you can print bigger stuff more, like if you're not limited to the size. I'm just not familiar with that Thinker SE machine. Is it more basic like the original CR10, or is it like the CR10 Smart where it has a bunch of features? What is this odd machine? B3D Armored Warfare S. This is a HICTOP AL13310, in case you wanted to know the scientific name. I thought it'd be really cool to check out because it's funky, it's wild, it's unlike other machines. And I want to give it a chance because of that, you know, because it's so different. It's priced right around the $600 mark, somewhere a little bit above. So that in itself is very interesting as well, considering the build of this. There's a lead screw and motor inside of each one of these, and each one of these is the same. So that's a benefit. It's very robust. Everything's metal. Seems super cool. Have you printed with a Zyro copper? It's a proper gold filament. I have it in my cart. There's also a metallic one that I wanted to try. That has that's like that you can use magnets with, but I haven't had a chance. No, I haven't. I've printed with Zyro a long time ago. I haven't had any of that stuff in a while. Darren. The Sunlu S9 Plus is a brilliant machine. Is it? Yeah, I just did a Sunlu machine. The T3. It was okay. You have to know what you're getting into with that machine. I feel like if you expected it to be some top tier thing, you'd be really disappointed. If you expected it to be a budget oriented machine that like needs a few things here and there, like it could get you into 3D printing, then it starts to feel a little bit different. But it is what it is. All right, so I wonder if this just goes up. I guess it does. Right? Yeah. All right, let's see what we need here. Is it 4? We need 4. Let me set this down. Prep the hardware so that I don't do it all one-handed. I have 5 T3s. Really? What do you do with those 5 T3s? Is it like a hobby thing or work thing? Customer support is, well, I'm not going to cuss, but, you know, it's customer support with a budget printer that's from China is going to be that way. Like, I hate to break it to you, but until you pay some decent money on a machine, I feel like the expectation should be that you're going to be doing a bunch of stuff yourself. Like, that's just me personally. That's just how I would expect it. Now, if I'm paying 800 or so bucks, like somewhere in that range, now it's to the point where I expect to have some service. And maybe that's just because of my previous experiences with these things. But yeah, I just feel like you're not going to get the best service in the world with these budget machines. They kind of go for quantity when they make them, you know, so they get so much traffic. I bet they're so overwhelmed with quality control and trying to be IT for people. Because if it's a cheap machine, a lot of people that are getting into it, it's their first machine. And when you have a first machine, you make a lot of mistakes that are like really simple. And you like to blame the manufacturer for said mistakes. All right, something is up here. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's the right holes. M3x8s, there's no other hardware. I've tightened those two and there's still some space. Let me take that apart. Not sure why, but the hardware has some, the hardware has a hard stop, but it's not tightened all the way. Almost like this hardware is a little too long. And I know this machine's been assembled before, so it just got to be something I'm doing. Darren said I'm also getting a P1P, so I'm thinking fast and loud. Yeah, that seems like a really cool machine. I think a lot of people are gonna get it. It's gonna be a popular one. I think they somehow got in and instantly have a reputation for great machines. Good for them, man. I'm really happy for them. You know, we need more companies like that come in and kind of disrupt everything like that. It'll push everything forward eventually. All right, I think it's time for a beer. Hour in, we don't have a built machine. Let's get a beer going. Oh, we got looks like we got a little spammer in here. Put user in timeout. No, we're blocking you, buddy. Get out of here. All right. Having a little Baltimore Blonde by Guinness. Local. Cheers. Patrick, cheers to you, buddy. Yeah, I know you'd blame me. All right, so I don't know why. It looks like there's a wire back there that I'm running into. Yeah, like there's definitely a wire in the back, but I'm not pressing it. This should go all the way through. Let's do a test. Yeah, that's gone, isn't it? Anyone who works on cars knows that when this happens, You just kind of have to take a moment to yourself. I have so many boxes here at the moment. That's gone. I'm not even going to look for that one. Guinness brings back bad memories. It's not that type of Guinness. So this is the blonde. So it's not the porter or the stout. Yeah, much lighter. Carbons, yeah, good times. All right, let's see. So yeah, this one kind of bottoms out, and maybe they don't bottom out. No, they do. Like that's bottomed out. Also, I'd like to mention again, because they told me about this well in advance, is this is a prototype machine, specifically the one I have. I've had it for months in this box, and I haven't had a chance to get to it, but they fixed a lot of issues on it. So they were kind of like, when I told them I'm going to do a live stream, by the way, 2 days ago, they're like, oh, you know, be sure to say that it's pre-production, like try to assemble it beforehand. I don't do that. I want to assemble it with you guys. I kind of share that experience. So I told them I'd mentioned that this, you know, I'm fully aware that this is a pre-production model, and I'm totally okay with things like this, because I'm just interested in the fact that they're trying something different, you know? And I respect that. So I'm having some problems with the threads on the screws to the hot end. I have a feeling that they're not stripped. That's not the right word, but they're not going in quite straight, and they're all kind of bottoming out, but there's nothing on this side that should stop them from doing so. So you know what? I'm going to get my tap, and I'm going to run them through just to clean them up and help them out a little bit, you know? But they did mention to me, made it very clear, that they have already fixed a bunch of issues on this particular machine. Let's see, M3. And these screws go all the way, these holes go all the way through. So it should be easy just to run a little tap through there. I wonder why this type of thing would even happen. Who knows? Irish car bomb, not funny in the 70s, yeah. Off with the 10 mil. You can never find the 10 mils. You just got to buy new ones. I know that all too well. All right, let's see. It's going through nice and clean. So it looks like it must have just caught some kind of burr on the way out when they took it apart. Yeah, no resistance. All right, that's good, right? And yeah, there's going to be some metal shavings. Let me take off this little T-handle. Also, I'm probably going to go for, I guess, 2 hours max on this particular stream. I don't know where we're going to get to in that time frame. I don't know if we'll be able to print or get firmware on it or what, but I still thought it would be fun to do it together. So thanks for sticking with me. And if you're watching this afterwards, you know, thanks for catching up. And let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking about this machine. HICTOP, if you're watching, you know, like I said, I don't really have a problem. I realize this is a pre-production machine. This part, I feel like, can be made better if the hardware didn't just go into this thin, you know, metal. Like maybe it went into some kind of press fit nut or a welded nut. Just something that was a little bit more robust. Just a suggestion. pure nonsense to most. Yeah, it looks like everything goes in pretty smooth. I'm not really fighting with anything. It just might have had some burrs here and there. It doesn't look like paint was on the inside. But here there is a wire on the other end, but there's nothing in the way as well. There we go, caught the threads. Yeah, I can see it going through on this end. Yeah, this one does have something kind of blocking it a bit. But yeah, that's just the, looks like thermistor wire going to a daughter board. It just moves right out of the way. It's not pressed up against anything. Lancaster from above said, that's why I always trust your reviews, honest and brutal if need be. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I do have a feeling that might bite me, you know, in terms of like growth. But like some things I just can't comprehend why some companies do or even try to cover up, you know. I don't think it's fair to the consumer. And there's so many to choose from now. I feel like you have to be harsh. You have to be honest. I don't need free machines. That's not why I do this whatsoever. So I do have people come in the comments occasionally, especially some of my earlier videos, saying that I'm just saying nice things because I get the printers for free. I think that's just crazy. The amount of work that I have to do to get a video up and to reply to every comment free. That's not free. That's a work. I'm working, baby. What are you talking about? So yeah, I appreciate that. Got to be honest, you know? And also, I think it's kind of cool to have a chance to give a company feedback on a product that they're working with, because they give me the chance, you know, to give that kind of feedback. I think that's cool. It brings me back to like, you know, just art and design. You have to take feedback and use it, and you have to know how to take that feedback, that criticism, and try not to get upset. That's a big part of that, and it's similar. They're making a product, so like some companies wouldn't give me a chance to take apart their machine, and these guys did. So that's cool. All right, now the hardware is going in nice and easy. So I'm guessing when whoever put it together was taking it apart, something happened maybe with, actually I don't know how something would be threaded in but then get messed up on its way out. Maybe just some little pieces of metal got in where they shouldn't have been. But that definitely has fixed that issue. All right, so there's just 4 pieces of hardware holding it. I think it's really going to hurt if you drop it. Oh, I can't even imagine. If this falls in the right spot on the top of your foot, it's destroying your foot. Peg leg. In the future, bamboo is, I hope, another companies follow their designs. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, the major special part in their thing is the software. It's the way it all functions together, right? That little LiDAR thing all together. It's not the fact that it has LiDAR, it's the fact that the software works with it and what it does with it to calibrate itself. That's the cool stuff. Like that's the part that makes them unique. I think other people can do the hardware that they have. That's not really a problem. It's how they executed it. That's what made it all good. 10mm sockets have a built-in vanish mode. They do. That's what it seems. Cool. Uses a V6 style nozzle. Well, of course it does. It's a V8. It's a volcano style hot end there. Okay, so that part is done. I must say, you know, yes, it's taken a while. I'm kind of just chatting, going really slow, not necessarily focusing 100%. But so far, it's almost like brainless activity. You know, we've kind of just been carrying conversations. All right, next part is the top here. So this is going onto the back. My God. That is legit heavy. Legit heavy. I know I'm weak. It's fine. But that is heavy. Got all the wires back here. We'll figure all that out in a sec. Still don't have the screen on. All right. Let's see what they want us to do here. This goes backward, forward, backward, this way. Okay, it drops. Well, let's see. Which hardware do we need here? We need 6 M3x8 screws. And each one needs these little, tiny little washers. So let's prep that. "100% agree. Bamboo have nailed it." Yeah, I think so. I think they're going to be wildly popular over the years, especially with how rapidly they're managing to make machines. The fact that they have that ability to have parts and have decent support, that's what's gonna be successful, right? Like, the support is gonna be major. If some of these budget-oriented Chinese companies can't even do it for cheap machines, if these guys nail it, people are gonna pay that extra dollar. All right, let's see. Cool. Easy. That went in nice and smooth. I know this thing's kind of going to be off the screen for a bit, but... And like I said, I'll try to get more and more camera stuff and make these a little bit better as time goes on. So far, the 2 live streams that I did previously weren't very popular. And, you know, if they're not popular, I don't necessarily want to, like, waste time doing them. Like, even though I enjoy it, if the volume isn't going to be there, if no one enjoys watching them, I probably won't do them, because that's YouTube, right? You kind of have to do the thing that people like, or something like that, or that's what people do, I guess. So we'll see. HICTOP will be getting sued by dozens of Amazon drivers for back problems after delivering a few of them printers. Yeah. It's gonna be a thing. Like, it is so heavy. It is surrounded quite a bit by foam, I gotta say. Like, I've opened so many machines. I think this is my 35th machine, 36th. I think this is the 36th machine that I've put together. Not doubles. Like, I've had a ton of Voxelab Aquilas. I'm counting that as one. So I've been lucky enough to have my hands on a ton of different types of machines, and some of them are not boxed like others are. This one is definitely boxed well. Okay, I made a critical error here. This swing arm is supposed to go on top of the thing that I just bolted together. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. See, if this was a video, you guys wouldn't see this error. Open source LiDAR tech, yeah. HICTOP. I just made a hiccup. They're not going to like me saying that. Yeah, some of the names in the genre are pretty wild. But HICTOP's not too bad. There are much crazier names. All right, you know what? I've heard enough of this song. Let's go ahead and swap it. I requested, so I'm using this thing called StreamYard. I'm not sure I'm going to continue using it, but I bought it for a month just to check it out. One of the requests that I had with them was, I have a ton of music installed into here, but it only plays one song over and over again. And if you remove the looping, it will literally just play the song once. I just want a playlist of songs. You know, I purchase a ton of music for background videos, so it'd be nice to be able to use them, you know. And looks like we're gonna loop this one for a minute. Hope you guys like this little jazzy stuff that's playing in the background. Why do you think the Chinese printers are limited to a bed of 100 C and a nozzle temp of 260, but still use PTFE tubing? The parts are made over there, and only the flagship models are Creality. Only the flagship models, i.e., Creality. I think about this often, actually. Like why the software goes way higher than PTFE tubes, and they still put PTFE tube hot ends. And it's got to be that they're recycling manufacturing and like recycling, like reusing machines and reusing parts and getting them as cheap as humanly possible. It's got to be the only reason, because there's so many companies that have overcome PTFE tubing really easily and still print PLA just as good. Because that's some of the things that they'll say is PLA performance goes down. But I don't know if that's true. I have a few all metal machines and I print PLA on them pretty much constantly. So I think they just try to save as much money as humanly possible, even if it's cents. That's got to be the reason. That's got to be it. Love jazz. I'll take that. Feder, have you thought about building a Voron? All the time, every day? I think about it. I know there's quite a backlog right now. I think it would be cool. I think it would be super cool. Not too long ago, I reached out to a couple of companies to try to see if they're willing to send me theirs, like kits, so that I can put it together. But that was a no-go. I still don't have enough clout to be able to pull that kind of thing, apparently. So I will either put one together at some point or not. The reason why I'm apprehensive is because, well, it's a totally custom machine, right? Even though you can buy a kit, it's not like backed by a brand. So it's all on you. Obviously, there's a community, but so far the channel has really been not necessarily only focused on, but it's at least trying to showcase to people that you can get into 3D printing easily, right? At least in my opinion. And these are the type of machines that let you do it. A Voron is not for someone that's just getting in the hobby, right? So that's kind of why I haven't totally rushed into it. And I've made my own printers before, like from scratch, not Voron stuff, like old school stuff. So I'm not scared of that part at all. I just think that as much as some people want to see me build a Voron and show it off, I think just to stay true to my channel, that's why I haven't rushed into it. Like, I do think that I just get some kind of weird joy out of hearing, like, I've inspired somebody to get into 3D printing, or someone opened a store and they started making money. I remember one of my favorite things happened about a year ago now, where I saw a review by this guy that said he bought one of these machines, the Voxelab Aquila machines, and it was trash. He returned it, hated it. It was the worst. What a piece of junk. Couldn't get it. And I messaged him. I reached out. It was like, I think on Instagram. I reached out. I'm like, hey man, let me help you, like one-on-one. And I kind of like talked him into giving it another chance. And he ended up loving 3D printing after just some simple guidance of how to level, how to get filament through it. And like that, like really kept me going. That's why I started doing all those tutorials on these entry-level machines. That's kind of, I think, where I kind of want to stay for a while. And after I get a bunch of these, machines under my belt, get to know them better, get to know the mechanics of machines a little better, I'm definitely going to get back to helping teach, like, getting into 3D printing. So as much as I personally want one, I think about it all the time. I want a Voron. I want one right now. It'd be printing right now. I don't know. That's why I haven't had the time to get into that. I hope that answers your question. Yep, I just changed the head to a good one with all metal hot end, or I refuse to buy it unless they can run 300. Yeah, that's a good gist. You know, majority of people, including me, still print PLA, PETG, TPU, and a pretty standard PTFE line hot end will be just fine. Like literally just fine. Nothing will happen. HICTOP makes printers now. What? Yeah, they apparently that's why I said yes. I saw this. You know, I have their other products. They're like Ender 3 parts. You see you see that brand on Amazon all the time or eBay, everywhere you buy 3D printing things. And yeah, they have been developing this for months. I just haven't had a chance to get into it, and it's wild, man. This thing is wild. Have you seen all the Revo nozzles? Yeah, they look really cool. Go heat cartridge, crazy. They're falling apart. Are they? I don't know that part. I don't have any experience with them. They look cool though. Here, I thought all those how-to videos were to help my a year ago. Yeah, man. Everyone's got to learn, you know, how to do something at some point. I was just trying to share some knowledge. Michael, I'm on your Discord channel. And you have personality, and you have personality. You have personally, I can't read. You've personally helped me a ton since I got into 3D printing. Kratos 54 Discord, hey man. Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm glad I'm able to help in some way, shape, or form. Are you into designing your own prints and all that? And if so, what CAD software do you use? Yeah, before I started doing this 3D print related YouTube, I was making my own designs for whatever it is. I was fascinated with the fact that I could make something and then wake up the next day and have it made in the basement on a printer. So I started with Tinkercad. I used it for years. I started with making keyboards, custom keyboards. If any of you guys are into clacking, the SICK 68 was one of my designs like this. Let me grab one. So completely hand-wired, hardwired using a Teensy controller, fully 3D printed, some custom keycaps that are also printed. You know, things like this. I have a bunch of different designs. I started wanting to make this, and it's split so you can print it on like an Ender. It was just what wasn't my first printer at that time. So I started with Tinkercad, and then I tried really hard and have been trying really hard to learn Fusion. And for some reason, the way my design brain works, I'm just constantly uncomfortable in it. So I use design, what is it called? DSM. I haven't opened it in like a month. Which is hilarious. What's it called? Design Spark Mechanical. It's free. Design Spark Mechanical. Not as potent as Fusion 360, but it's free, and you can do pretty much anything you want in it if you get a good grasp of how it functions. And for some reason, that software is how my brain thinks, which is unfortunate for me because I think Fusion would just be better. But yeah, I've made a ton of my own things. I don't know if you guys are into Diablo at all. Diablo 2, I've been playing it for 20 plus years. These are like runes from there. I designed all the runes in 2 different sizes to print it on an IDEX machine in 2 colors. Just random things like that. Designed some things for computers, like risers for a case. That was actually one of my most popular, I guess, designs that I made. It helped start the channel, that's for sure. But yeah, I got out of it because I don't want to ship things. Shipping things is not fun. So I kind of got out of all that. My Voron hot end alone costs as much as the Aquila. So yeah, it's really, yeah, I mean, if you want quality and it makes you feel good that you have a quality part, heck yeah, man, get that hot end. Get that in there. and especially if it's going to print continuously and well. Now, with that said, I do have Aquilas that have worked forever with 0 mods, and I know some people like don't even want to hear it, but it's true. Like, just do whatever makes you happy, you know. Is it a Snapmaker clone? I think to some degree. Like, let's just be brutally honest. I think it is. I don't know how. That's not my forte, but the fact that I get to check this out and this hardware is super unique to me, that's why I want to give them a chance. I don't know the technicalities of how these companies work together or not work together. But yeah, it looks like there's a few machines that use this system now, but not for this price. This would be undercutting them by more than half. All right, let's get to this part. We need more M3x6s, 16 of them. Lord have mercy. Diablo, yeah. I have my original Diablo 2 copy right here with LOD. Let me cover the CD key. Had this thing since childhood, and I still play it pretty much daily. Resurrected at the moment because it's so good. One of the best games around, if you ask me. Best remakes. I couldn't wrap my head around Fusion either. Yeah, man, I sometimes I wish, like, I took courses, like I took online classes when I did a promo for, well, it doesn't matter. I took online classes, I tried, and I could follow a tutorial just fine. You know, I'm in software all day, Illustrator, Photoshop, video editing, literally every day. But for some reason, I can't grasp it. I don't know what it is. It makes me feel dumb, and I hate it. I hate the feeling. I don't hate Fusion. Getting too expensive to ship stuff. Yeah. Shipping stuff is insane. Yeah, unless you have a contract with a shipper, like you're a company, and you pretty much ship the entire time. Shipping is crazy expensive. Yeah, like without bulk discounts, you know. Also, why am I using this manual tool when I literally have this right here? Come on, guys. This is the stuff I need you guys to catch. If you have an affiliate link that works, I will buy one if it prints well. I think the Amazon one is the only one I have. I'm not affiliated with these guys at all. But my Amazon is obviously my affiliate link. I appreciate that, by the way. Like, that's very kind of you. The gold dupe exploit. There were so many exploits. The game always had some kind of funky bug, hilariously. It's been really good now, though. Like, right now, I would say it's pretty good. Best it's ever been by a landslide, and looks gorgeous. No, Siri, get away. You did this last time. Siri attacks my laptop sometimes. Suman, $2.99. Hey, man, I appreciate that. You definitely don't have to do that. Voron build when? I guess I'll have to start saving up, huh? I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, we got a little tenor. How do you pronounce that? Leicester? I don't want to, like, I'm not the best at English. I don't want to offend you in any way, but thank you very much for that 10. Mate, I watch all your videos and live streams. Love your work. Appreciate all you do. I had brain surgery late last year, only just getting right. Oh, man. You know, when I was 7 years old, I hit my head really hard when I was, I think, 6. And actually one of the reasons why my family moved to the United States. And I had to have, not directly brain surgery, but I had to have fluid removed from under my skull. So I'm at least somewhat familiar with any kind of brain stuff, man. I wish you well. I hope everything turned out okay with whatever was happening with you. I have a close friend right now that's going through something pretty similar. So wish you well, man, and I appreciate the kind words. Am I looking forward to Diablo 4? Yes, but like I'm apprehensive after Immortal. So I'm a fan of Diablo 3. Like I know that's like a crazy thing for some reason in the community. If you like Diablo 2, you're supposed to hate Diablo 3. I actually really enjoyed it. I love the story. And one of the reasons why I wanted to play Immortal was for the story, and I just haven't had the time or the chance to do it. I'd really like to, at some point, just play through it just for the story, because I really like the whole Diablo lore. So regardless if it's good or bad, I'm going to play Diablo 4. Am I looking forward to it? I don't know. I hope they don't mess it up, but that's how it always is. Like if you like if you have a favorite movie and they're doing a sequel, you're gonna be a little apprehensive. That's how I'm looking at it. Leicester, that's the name of a city, right? It's pronounced Leicester. Oh, I'm so sorry, Leicester. My bad, man. There's no way I would have known that. So. Lester, my apologies. Please don't take that personally. You're talking to a dude named Fetter. Believe me, I know all about ridiculous name calling. Immortal doesn't count. Sure it does. Yeah, same thing. I got hit in the head and had to release pressure from the brain. I hate Jello. Yeah, man, that's what happened. That's crazy that there's more of us. Yeah, I'll never forget it. I spent a long time in the hospital. This was in the early 90s, mid 90s. It was in the mid 90s. I'm assuming now, just technology and modern medicine have made that whole thing hopefully easier. I know my buddy who just had to have brain surgery, literally something removed from his brain. He was in really quickly. Like I remember being in there for so long. I was also a child, but he was in there for a few days and he was back home, which is just amazing. That's so cool that they can do this. Yeah, kids, wear your helmets, A little late, but hello, Lord Boo. What's up, man? Congrats on your win, by the way, and thank you very much for printing all those toys for kids. What a cool thing. Is Zumi in here? Zumi, where are you at? You guys should go bother her on Discord. Get her into the live chat. If there was anyone I expected here, it'd be Zumi. Silent IEC. Yeah, that's you guys with English, man. English is just nuts. So many crazy things. Like my daughter will ask me, Daddy, how do you say this? How do you read this? I'm like, I don't know. Or why? She'd be like, why is this letter silent? I'm like, I don't know. English. You did this. Obviously not. I'm just kidding everybody. I butchered your name by calling me Fender. I wouldn't say that's butchered. It's just a crazy name. Should be upset on the music volume. Is it too loud? For real. I was trying to avoid this. Let me turn it down, because on my side, it sounds fantastic. It's calming, Here, I have it on 10. Let's go down to 8. Let's do another song. There we go. When we get sick of that one. Actually, I've heard that one a million times. Let's do this. Here we go. When we get sick of that one, we'll swap it. No, it's fine. Just picking on her. Oh, okay. Well, I turned it down. Yeah, there was a few people that commented about the music, and I didn't connect the dots fast enough. So in that initial stream, it was just super loud for no reason. So I gotta stop talking about the printer. I am putting these brackets on here that are totally unnecessary, but I guess if you put a bunch of filament rolls on here, that would play a role. So maybe that's why they did it. But yeah, this is just such a robust machine, almost too robust. Like, I guess the question at some point is like, does a printer need to be this heavy? But it's funny because this is the type of thing that would make it feel like it's a unit, you know, make it feel reliable. Even before you do anything to it, it would give you confidence because of its just girth. Is that the right word? Here I am again, using a manual. Guys, if you see me use this, you're supposed to say something in the chat so that I stop immediately. The amount of time I have wasted. Your time. Burning them in the house. Hey, I'm about to start my own 3D channel. What inexpensive HD camera do you suggest? Your iPhone. If you have an Android, use an Android. I started just making stuff with a phone, and then I ended up using my Nikon. I don't remember what I had at the time. D3100. I wouldn't suggest that camera because of its like hard stop. And in fact, I still deal with that with my machine. My camera. I have a Nikon D5500, which I really like as just a camera, because it's so compact, just as a photo camera. Because I do enjoy taking photos. But the problem I have with it now is, like the other ones that I had before, it has a hard stop of 20 minutes, regardless of what you're doing. You have to turn the screen off and back on. But it has some great features for video specifically, even though it's just 1080p. So I would say inexpensive, use your phone. They have amazing cameras. I'm using my phone right now for this live stream. So yeah, so the box, when you pick up, so Darren said it almost killed me when I picked it up. The box is at least big, so you kind of can pick it up. This thing is, I really should like run all the way upstairs just to get a scale, because this thing's just nuts. So all right, I got all those brackets in, Z supports they call them. All right, looks like now we're doing some hardware plug-in. So it's saying we need a little extension. We have these little wires that are zipped up. Also, this is a random thought, but I just saw that IKEA lac tables raised in prices. So whatever fault that is, I don't like you anymore. Now they're $15 instead of 10. I need a few more lacs. My Creator Pro is heavy and it's junk. Yeah. Yes. They're just, they're out of date. I don't know if that's the case. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that just because it's heavy, it's going to be good. I'm really curious about this idea. The idea that this extrusion has a pre-built stepper and a linear rail and lead screw. It's just done. It's already set up. It's like a whole unit. And then they're all the same. I think that part is really neat. I think there's other ways to do this. This could have been plastic. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know why they made it all metal and this heavy, but it'll definitely help with sound. I have a feeling it'll help dampen. If you think the printer's well built, I think the table, it's even, man, this table, if you guys saw this, it's an old school table actually from my grandmother. This used to have like a dining room setup, actually not a dining room setup, a board game table. If you guys saw, I have a lot of board games over here, of a board game wall, and I took it over. So I put this second table that's meant to be a standing desk, and that's what I've been using. But I plan on redoing this whole thing, so I'll have a much better setup with my actual computer on here with dual screens, not just my laptop. That way I can actually do this for real. All right, so it's saying in the instructions that we need to use this little extender to get our X-axis plugged in. So let's go ahead and do that, and that's going into the very first plug. Oh, it's all labeled X. Here, let me, how about I turn this so you guys can see this? Jeebus. The fact that it has those rubber feet on the bottom makes it hard to slide, impossible to slide. All right, let's see. Plugged into X. Click. It's nicely labeled back there. It's like I'm setting up a network. Some kind of router. Hospital equipment surplus? Yeah. Is it a 3D printer or a CT scanner? If this thing was a scanner, it'd be hilarious, like a paper scanner. That would be just pure comedic joy. All right, so it looks like both the Y-axis get plugged in next. Axes. Axi. And are they labeled as well? They are. Y1. So which one's Y1? The right side is Y1. Y1. And Y2. Okay. And just keep going. Look at this little guy we got left over. What's up with that? Oh, that's why. So these are going into one. So we got Z1, Z2. Wow. I don't know if I like this or not, but it's very interesting. That's lovely. There's got to be a better way to manage this, but we'll figure that out a little later. I'd rather at least get it booted up, you know. All right, what's next? The screen. Oh, so the screen just kind of gets plugged in and it goes wherever, huh? That's kind of interesting. Screen is labeled screen, so that's good. Click. Nice and easy. Let's get it untangled a bit. Anyone get zoom in here yet? How about well, let's see. Yeah. Lord Boo. What about Hero? Where's Hero at? Let's get him in here. Let's show some love to our mods. You know, Hero, thank you, man, for being a part of the Discord. He's literally always on it, always helping. I value his opinion, even though you guys probably have noticed our opinions often are complete opposites, and I think that's totally okay. Like, that's totally cool. You can decide, you know, which direction you want to go. I'm definitely never opposed to someone else's opinion just because it's different than mine. We can coexist. All right, so this is interesting. The bed here has this plug on the back, but I feel like they're trying to keep it in this one area for some reason. I wonder why. I don't like this little sticky plug thing here, but it's okay. All right, actually, you know what? I'll go over all this wire. Let's plug in the bed. It's labeled bed. This plug has a million wires for some reason. There we go. Not necessarily a satisfying click on that one. And this is the extruder. Let's get this one in. So it looks like the sticker that has a label on it is kind of in the way of these plugs. Can I kind of get it out of the way there? Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of getting in the way. I'm plugging this in. There we go. Once again, not a very satisfying click on these two plugs over here. And I'm just gonna snip the sticker out of the way. As much as that doesn't feel right, it's in my way, and I'd much rather have a good connection. So just a little sticker that covers the label. Let's see. There we go. That's nice. All right, so a bit kind of a jumbly mess. Definitely looks like office equipment, but so easy to plug in. And obviously you could wire manage this much better than what I just did. Swooning over his X1. Hey man, you know, it's an amazing machine, as he should be. Why not? And you know, you paid a top dollar for an amazing machine, and he should enjoy it, you know. G34 capable. I don't know what that is. Is there any labels that say Tandy or Radio Shack? Radio Shack. I used to love Radio Shack. I miss Radio Shack deeply. But, you know, I guess Amazon kind of completely eliminated everything that Radio Shack has had in their store. So I still would like to go to a Radio Shack in person, honestly. This would have been cool if it had magnet or some rubber on the bottom, because I feel like it can get in the way. All right, let me turn this thing, because I think as far as putting it together, I think we're done. Yep. Yeah, we're done. So auto level is the first thing you do, apparently. All right, so let's rotate. How long we got? An hour 50. So it's been 2 hours already? All right, we'll just keep going a little bit. That's all right. So yeah, maybe if you were focused on building this, it wouldn't take that long. I was just really, really taking my time. Gosh, this thing is absolutely just a monster of a printer. All right, let's get the screen over here. Well, I won't be able to see it myself then. All right, that's where it's staying for now. I already have a plug. Let's get that in there. Okay, we got it plugged in. I'm going to put the PTFE on, PI on here, but I'm going to put it on the smooth side just in case something goes down too low or something. We'll keep it out like that. As far as the top goes, let me show you this. So this is a filament holder. It's on a magnet. That's so cool. I like that. Let me know in the comments which one of these things you guys want to throw on there. I don't know if we'll be printing right now because I got to dig around for some firmware. Needs a cubicle. Yeah, it does have that feel, doesn't it? Which one of these things, you guys? We got teal and fuchsia. Teal. Teal. They're really cool colors, actually. Like, I don't know what I would print for myself with this, but if I was printing something for like a shelf or a display or for a video or showing somebody, literally anything but myself, because I just print something black or like clear or something. These are cool. Teal. All right, teal. Everyone said teal. And by everyone, I mean the few people that I just saw. We're going with teal. All right. Don't want to lose these taps. All right, I've heard this song too much. StreamYard, we need a playlist. All right. 3D Max Space Gray always prints more than white. Yeah, it's a really light one. They do have a bunch of other grays that are just awesome. Actually, I shouldn't say bunch. There's a few. Coyote Brown. I do have Coyote Brown. Let me get that actually just to show you guys. Wow, I've completely made myself enclosed in booby traps. So here are the rest of their new colors. We got fuchsia, teal, coyote brown, and light pink. I know my lighting here is blue and purple, so it's just a nice light pink. I think it's coming out kind of orangish. Nice light pink. And a nice kind of lightish brown. Not necessarily tan. It's definitely not a tan, but kind of like a lighter brown. Their chocolate is really brown. Use that color? Well, I already popped this sucker open. Plus, I do like this teal. It stands out for sure. All right, so let's see how this works. So we pop it up, slide this bad boy on. All right, let me put this over here. I forgot that this little guy. This little guy goes right here. And also, when I pull this down, oh, okay. This, all right, so I put this thing on here backwards. So looks like you put the filament on here with the filament going downward. Man, that spool holder is awesome. It's actually quite smooth because it's metal. I'm gonna move it over here. Let's cut some off. All right, and it goes through this little piece here. Nice. That's awesome. Just gonna kind of just finagle it in here for now. So actually, there you go. That's fine for now. It's not heated up anyway. Okay. So before I do anything else, is there an SD card? There's not an SD card. Obviously, they would have an SD card. Pre-production model, like super pre-production. They've already fixed a bunch of things with this machine specifically, as they have let me know. And I have an earlier one. I haven't gotten to it in months, so worth mentioning. Where there's glue, they've already fixed it. They've put hardware there, and they have a new firmware, which I should have prepped before this, but I didn't, because I wanted you guys to just see this thing. It has a cool look to it, doesn't it? A workout to put filament on. It's heavy. It is. It really is. Let me see what my headphones are at. Do I still have battery enough for all this? Yeah, 60%. We're good. All right, 2 hours in. All right, let's see. Bear with me. Fail check. I did check. It was on 115. It was on the back. That was one of the first things I did before I assembled everything. I hope that thing is plugged into its own circuit. Live stream's gonna be black when he flips the switch. They are plugged into the same. Yes, they are plugged into the same switch. So that's hilarious. Yeah, if we do go dark and the stream cuts off, that would be hilarious. Hey, since you need new firmware, put Clipper on it. Yeah, that's right. I know nothing about what this thing runs in terms of hardware. But yeah, let's figure that out. Let me check my email. Let's see. Special thanks to Michael from HICTOP. Although the email is Susan, but I've been talking to someone who's been writing Michael in the SIG, so I'm going to say Michael. Michael, thank you for sending me the machine and trusting me with it. I know it's early on, and guys, there's two ways to look at this, right? And I've heard both. So one way to look at it is people get upset that pre-production gets sent out somewhere and like we have to fix it for them. That's one way to kind of look at it. The other way to look at it is I find it personally interesting to get an idea of what a company is like working on, and the fact that they're able to trust somebody who's going to showcase it to more than one person. I think that trust is very valuable, and I think that just because they did that alone, they're open to some degree of making the product better even before it's necessarily like it's out to people. So there's like two ways to look at it, and I know I respect it. I think there is some merit in saying that like companies put out half-ass machines and expect us to fix them. I think that's true, and that happens. So I don't want to discount that, but at the same time, I think I'm of the camp where I think it's super cool to get an opportunity to see something that's not an Ender 3 clone. And I kind of root for it, Beta testing. Yeah, I guess like that's the other side. Like, are we beta testing it for them? Yeah, I guess we are. But at the same time, do I like beta testing stuff? Yes. So maybe I'm just the wrong person to... Yeah, I tend not to throw hate around. All right, let's see. So somewhere in this thread of many, many months of them being super patient with me, they sent me firmware. Here you go. You can download the firmware from the link below. Let's go ahead and click that. Looks like we have a bin, a config, and a log file. I'm gonna go ahead and just download. Now, one thing some of these Chinese companies haven't understood, I'm not trying to knock them specifically, but a lot of these companies use like their Google Drive to send files. Don't do that. Put it on a website that has an HTTPS with a lock. Don't put files on a Google Drive. Like, I have contact with this person, so I trust them, but for users, don't do that. A lot of companies do it, and I just don't think you should. It's not secure. It's dangerous. Don't do it. Cura software and config file. That's kind of interesting. Let's see what that is all about. What do you mean config file? Let's download it. Yeah, there's a whole Cura for it. I'll go ahead and download that. Follow the steps, compress the file, uncompress the file. There's 3 files for the firmware. After decompression, put the files in the root directory of your own TF card, turn off the printer, restart the power, let the printer start to complete the firmware update. Remember to remove the memory card and delete the firmware file, otherwise the firmware will be re-uploaded. Yep. Okay, another tip, when the auto level is completed, the nozzle should hover about 20 millimeters above the heat bed. You can then click the minus symbol to lower the nozzle, go to the position of the hotbed, and at the same time, put a white paper on the hotbed, adjust the traditional way. When you think the paper can move to some resistance, you can click save on the screen, and then you're done auto leveling. Okay, so far that sounds great. Let's do all of that first. Let's get back to the stream. I opened so many windows. Hide. Firmware is on a floppy. What were the, remember zip drives? Zip disks? Not zip drives. What was it called? It was like this disk that was bigger than a floppy. I had to use those in college. Mr. Fusion. Bonsai Buddy pops up when I turn this on. Do you guys remember that? Clippy? All right. Let's unzip this. All right, we got the firmware. I'm going to unzip the RAR file with Cura on it just to see what's in there. It's an exe file. I can't run it. I'm on a Mac. There is a Cura profile for the AL13310, but I don't remember how to do it on a Mac. You have to like open the app itself. I'll figure it out in a second. All right, let's do the firmware first. All right, so we got a config. Okay, bin, config, log. Let's get an SD card. Let's see which printer would like to donate their card. All right, trusty Aquila, I choose you. I'm gonna have to do another printer purge here soon. I do occasionally sell machines, give out machines, donate machines. Just because I just run out of room. I can't do anything about it at the moment. All right, so we got our card in. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and put all of this into a new folder that's on there now. We're gonna call that Aquila. All right, so just to continue talking about what I'm doing, I'm just gonna drag those 3 files. The firmware files is a bin, config, and a log file to the root. Let it do its thing. Okay. And now we're gonna ejectocito. Still ejecting. Turns on machine and sees Napster logo. Winamp. Guys, Winamp needs to come back. Winamp with a Spotify plugin, and I'll be using that thing all day, every day. I will buy it. I will buy Winamp with Spotify. All right, we got our micro SD. Give them away a raffle. So the reason why I can't necessarily do that, and I have, but I can't because of shipping. When people win internationally, and I'd like to include my international viewers, it's so much money. I end up not being able to do that, unfortunately. So that's why I haven't done stuff like that. Oh, you know what? Let's power it on before the SD card. All right, so if the stream goes down, it's because of this. Here we go. All right, stream's still up. I hear a fan. All right, wow, no loading. Also, everything is in Chinese on the screen. I can't get it any closer, can I? No. Let's do the peel. You guys hear it? Bing! Very nice. Clean. Let's see if I can figure it out here. I'm going to hit the little wheel icon. I'm going to hit the A. Hopefully that's something. Oh, English. Bam. That was easy. There's an update firmware button. But I'll follow the directions in the email. But yeah, looks like everything's nice and fast and zappy. Okay, let's. I'm gonna power it down. Put the SD card in. So let's say boom. Are you US or Canada? I don't know if you're talking to me or not, Darren. I'm in the US. I'm on the East Coast, US. All right, let's see how it does the firmware. Does it say welcome to FTX? Please log in with bank details. Nothing happened. Right? You guys saw that. Nothing happened? I wasn't looking. I'm gonna go in here and hit update firmware. Here's the bin. All right, there's 2 bins in here now. 220831 update bin. I'll just hit it, the first one. And it abruptly turned off. Loading. Looks like it might have done it so fast. Yeah, okay, so it did the update so quickly. Well, I guess I'm assuming. Loading. Is there a info button? Info, board version, screen version. Let's see if there's any kind of indication of the firmware model on here. 220831. 220831. So it updated faster than any other machine than I have seen. All right, so we're going to do what they said. I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to pull the SD card out. I'm going to get those files out of there just in case that confuses something. You have to pay postage. Yes. You power this thing with postage. i9 processor. Intel inside. All right. No, I did not catch the football match. Surprised to know that I don't want to say I'm not a fan. I just do not watch any football / soccer. I watched some American football. I used to do fantasy a lot, and I just kind of got over it. And I haven't watched a single game. I am more into downhill mountain bike racing, watching wise, than I am in that kind of organized sport. To be completely honest with you, the European in me. My wife loves football though. Huge fan. Watches, screams at the TV, yells, throws things. All right, let's see. So the card now comes up as just low, and I don't see any files on it. I'm going to try to eject it and put it back in there. All right, let's see. Buzzbird, I'm in contact with E3D and Slice to see if they're interested in producing my full hot-end design. Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, those two are big companies, and I know E3D does absorb other companies. I used to be a huge fan of Zodiac 3D nozzles. I'm literally a massive fan of the company, everything that they stood by and did. The owner of that company, or at least the person who was in charge at the time, also worked for Glock. So he had a lot of really interesting background, and just the way that he was handling making those nozzles was incredible. And I think they got bought out by E3D. So good luck to you, man. All right, let's see where this firmware went and what happened with this card. Okay, so plot twist. Can't read the card anymore. Maybe I have to blow into it. Fall off them bikes at speed. Yeah, I've been there, done that, unfortunately. I've had over 30 stitches to my face. Ripped my nose off, bit through my lips, ripped my chin off. It's all hidden under the beard. Yes, wear your helmets. Full face. Yeah, I can't see this card anymore on my Mac, so don't know what the deal with that is. Let's try again. Pre-production, right? Checking back in on this. Randy, what's up, man? Yeah, man, this thing is, it's cool. Everything's started up. I'm just trying to figure out what's up with this SD card. Once the firmware went on it, my computer no longer reads it, which is interesting. But let me put it back in and start this thing up. Randy, you guys need to check out that YouTube channel as well. Good guy. A lot of really cool content. I can't tell. Like it does the firmware part so fast that it's almost as if it loaded. I'm just assuming it's all fine. 220831. All right. Well, let's deal with the instructions in that email said, and let's see. I'm not sure I'll be able to. I don't even know if it's a good idea to try to get it to print right now without contacting them, really, because I have a really early model of this. But let's just play around with it. I still have some time. 2 hours 15. Yeah, I'll give it another 20-ish or so. Okay, let's see what we got. MET detect. I'm guessing that's the filament sensor. Resume print. Let's go back. Control. Filament. ABL. MBL. ABL is auto bed leveling. MBL is manual bed leveling. Before we do that, let's go to temperature. Wow, this is very interesting looking icons. Let's heat it to PLA temps, and it's going to 250. I'm gonna click this 10, and let's get the bed to 60. I'm more comfortable with 60. So up here we have a PLA, ABS, and other in terms of for like temperatures to be able to heat this to. Let's hit back. I don't want to hit home just yet because I'll just let it do its thing for this. But let's go to move. Let's see the X. Okay, let's go by tens. Okay, so it's definitely not silent. Let's do the Y. Yeah, definitely not silent, but it moves the entire table even with my arm on it. So it's got some power. And Z. All right, that should be interesting. All right, let's wait for it to heat up. I can smell it definitely heating up. I'll keep the filament out. Let's go back to the temperature screen just so we can see the readout. So the hot end is already at 205, and it's going back down. And it looks like it had some white filament in there. And the bed is at 30 already. Let's get that filament out of there. All right, you know what? Let me take this second to put some of this stuff back because I have so much stuff on the table. Not yet. I need to see this thing print. Yeah, I'll do it. Let's see. But the thing is, I have to make a profile for it. That's going to be tricky because there's nothing on there. Nothing on the SD card. It is a direct drive. Maybe I could just put something generally speaking on there. Obviously, I want to get this thing printing. Yeah, this little tool is nice. It's just a cool little thing for them to include. Nice little filament roll. Now, another thing worth noting is I don't know if that type of stuff comes with it, since this is a pre-production model. I'm going to assume it does. Daniel D, $9.99. Thank you so much. Thanks for the stream and all your hard work. Good night, everyone. Good night, Daniel. I really appreciate the dono. Absolutely unnecessary, but as always, I appreciate it. And like I mentioned in previous streams, whenever you guys do donate, I just put it right back in the channel. This isn't something I'm pocketing. I will be literally buying filament, buying products to showcase. It's all being reused for the channel. What brand is that screwdriver pen? So this is by HICTOP. Like I mentioned before, where is that precision one? So I had another kit by them that I got earlier. That was really nice, and I shamefully broke this thing. So these are not cheap tools. They are expensive tools, and they're obviously not geared towards like the same person that would buy the bowl. Like this is for home use, HICTOP home tools, literally. But this little kit is awesome. And one thing to note is this is for small projects. I broke this thing, and like I literally broke it trying to put together a printer. But the quality of this thing is amazing. Just don't use it on a crazy M5 bolt. But this one, in my opinion, is even better. Its only downside, and it depends on who you are, is the bits that it comes with. They're not plentiful. So it comes in this awesome kit. Like the attention to detail here, design wise, is epic. It's all metal, and these bits are extremely nice. Super magnetic, has a little light. You pick between 3 different modes, and not modes, like strength wise, and then it stops. And I can't do it with my finger, it needs way more torque, but it dead stops when it reaches whichever setting that you have. You just need, in my opinion, I would have liked it to have more of these bits. So for me, I just went and got some pretty general size bits, and I just use this little adapter, and now I can literally use it with anything. And there's enough room in here to hold them all. So it has a USB-C on the bottom. It just charges. I think it was around $60. That's what they want for this. What's interesting is I don't think I would have paid for this if I didn't get a chance to use it. But now that I use it and it's like heavy, you know, it's got weight to it. It has a lot of power. It's hard to like knock it. You know, like I can't even find a fault. It's good. The only fault is you have to have your own bits if you wanted to cover all. It's pretty big. Like it's not going to fit into tiny little spots, but maybe one of those little extensions that would come with more bits would be nice. I like this thing a lot. I'm wide awake at 4:18 in the UK. Ooh, it's 11:20 here, 11:20 p.m. Nice if the bed was AC. Yeah. Well, it's definitely all heated up. So, all right. In that email, it said to just, let's get a paper, right? Didn't they give me a paper? They did. They gave me a paper. We'll use their paper. All right. Let's do ABL. Okay. Looks like they show all the little points. Current hotbed temp 60. It's too high for the level sensor to work. Wow. Please try again after it cools down to room temperature. Really? That is... I mean, I'll cool it down. I'll do it. But typically, HICTOP, you probably know this. Well, maybe. Typically, you want it to be at the temperature that you print at, because the aluminum expands a bit. Same with the brass nozzle. So you want them to be at the same temperature typically. But I understand that if the sensor, just because they move ever so gently. So I guess we'll figure it out. Let's see. We'll do it how they want us to. So print. Actually, you know what? This gives us time to figure out a printer profile for it, right? Anybody run Cura on the Mac and know how to add in a profile manually? I haven't done that in so long. It's an Irish printer. Ouch, I don't like those probes. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that it's doing this part. Otherwise, I have nothing against them, I guess. Some of my machines have them. I never really had any problems. I want to see it either kill him or print. Nice. They sent a profile, but they sent it along with an exe file. I'm on a Mac. So what I'm going to do is, it's the printer profile, not like a print profile, not like a PLA profile. I mean like for a printer. But it is a 300 by 300 printer that's direct drive. So I'm just gonna literally slice a cube, I guess. Let's grab a cube. Oh, how about this? You guys let me know what you want me to print. Something quick, hopefully. And while you do that, I'm going to move over here to a different screen. And I'm going to pull up the Sidewinder, because that is also a 300 by machine with a pretty similar design, everything, technically speaking. So let's just try to see what it does with that, and then I will do a more formal setup off live. I feel like this would just be faster for everyone involved. Let's go PLA. The only thing is, do I have this to a 0.6 millimeter nozzle? No, I don't. So yeah, I'll just use my PLA profile on the Sidewinder. All right, so what do you guys think I should print? Cali Dragon, you think? I mean, I've been on here for 2 hours and 24 minutes. I doubt anyone's even going to be watching this any longer. Like, do people rewatch lives that are this long? Yeah, probably Cube. Lester. A tiny walrus. Wow. A vase mode cup. That's true. That'll be fast. A 3-minute, 300mm gargoyle challenge. Cali Dragon. Maker coin. I do have my own maker coin. I haven't used them forever, but I do. I did have one of them. Let's see how the iPhone does. Auto. Ooh, nice. Yeah. Look at that. Double-sided. A cool little coin. It's fun to make. But I don't remember where that file is. It's in your cat somewhere. All right, let's just do a cube real quick. Let's go to our favorite website. And by that I mean it's not Thingiverse. Thingiverse. We're going to type in cube. All right, files. Download. Download. Okay. Let's throw it in here. Also, the other problem is that the SD card wouldn't read, right? We got to figure that out. Where in the world did the cube file go? Why? Why are you doing this to me? All right, I'm using Chrome for this. Usually I use Safari, and it went to the downloads folder. All right, thanks for bearing with me, everybody. Our cube is in. Let's go ahead and slice it just at our general PLA profile. And I'm going to try to get this SD card out of here. Oh, right, hold on. I know I have to level. But let me just get the file on here while I have it. Let's see if it will read now. Print to printer. I have before. Probably because you're on a Mac. You know, everyone likes to use that as an excuse. There we go. It just says low. That's craziness. What does that even mean? Safety removable. Let's see, do I even see it on here? No, I don't see it on here. What a wild ride for this card. All right, you know what I'm going to do? First, I'm going to change the song because it's driving me nuts to hear it this long. That's step one. All right. We've done this one in the beginning. Why do I keep clicking the same ones? Okay, here we go. Back to the task at hand with my ADHD. I'm going to open disk utility. Do Macs even have this utility still? I haven't used it in so long. All right, and we're going to do erase. EXFAT, right? Or MS-DOS. We'll name it. Erase. And yes, I know I lost all my files on there. It's okay. All right, let's see. Does it see it now? It sees it instantly. Okay. Let's put the cube on there. Cube on there. Cube's on there. Eject. You need to play the gummy bear themes. I'm a gummy bear. Something gummy bear. Gotta run MS-DOS on this bad boy. You didn't back up? Thought you were a software guy. So I didn't back it up. I put it all in a different folder and named it something else on the SD card. That's how I roll. And then I just deleted it all. I didn't back it up because I think it got corrupt, I guess, after the firmware got installed or something like that. It changed its name and you can't read any files on there. It's all good. All right. Is the file there? Back, print. The file is there. Okay, so let's do our bed calibration. Going to Control, ABL, and current hotbed is 41. It's too high for the level sensor to work. Please try again after it cools down to room temperature. Really? What's room temperature in their opinion then? Temperature. So right now it's at 41. I mean, that's not the hottest thing in the world. Check this out. Let's cool it down. You guys ever do this to a printer? Can't say I have. Every time something goes wrong, I got to say, this is a pre-production model. And we're beta testing it. It is still very hot. Amiga. Wow. Really bringing it back. Switch it off for 5 minutes. I mean, the bed isn't. It's not heating. It's off. It's okay. I'm just trying to be patient. Do its due diligence. I've heard of putting the plate in the freezer, but not the whole machine. Just turn the AC down in the house. Once you fan it, you need to feed it grapes. That's something we need to print. We need to print some grapes. Throw a bag of frozen vegetables. Yeah, that's true. I could run up and grab some veggies. Actually, you know, don't I have like... Can't I put something on there that's cold? And by cold, I mean just something that's been sitting. What do I have? I mean, even just, you know, anything really that's room temperature should cool it down to some degree. I just looked back here in some storage that I have here, and right on top is a HICTOP PI and a dual Y kit for an Aquila / Ender 3. There is, you know, their own branding. I was going to say they don't have like a giant HICTOP logo here, but I guess they do on the build plate here. Let's take that protection off. So nice. I'm sure you guys have seen this on the interwebs. And it's labeled everywhere on these pieces. So yeah, I don't know if there's like a patent on this design. I'm guessing not, because this exists. And it is for sale. I'm not sure, but I've seen it on other machines. Let's turn this so you guys can see the whole shebang. There you go. Patience after 2 hours of streaming. I'm a very patient person. Also, 2 hours isn't that bad, really, to set up a brand new machine, you know, from a box that you've never dealt with before. You know, give me an Aquila kit. I'll put that thing together in like no time. But also while reading and talking, it's not bad. Brand new. All right. 33. Let's go back. Home. Nope, not home. ABL. Auto ABL. And it's moving up. There's like a little, I can't reach it any closer to the camera, but there's a little, almost like a rotary dial type of thing where it's going to show me points, I'm guessing. Also, It's going upward and not downward. Should I be worried? You think there's like a hard stop up there? I guess we're about to find out if we hear a whole lot of clicking. Okay, there was a switch. Oh, you know what it did? It aligned both sides. Also, that's pretty loud. You guys hear this? Oh, it did it everywhere. So there's switches inside of these things. And it just aligned both sides. So they went up, one clicked, the other one went up and it clicked. And the same here. That's cool. Took it off. It saw 0 benefits on such a small machine. Yeah, some of the small machines are already robust enough. Unless you're going fast or have a direct drive machine on there, Buzzbird. That's the only real improvement. If you put the stepper motor on it and you're printing something slightly more to the right, you're gonna see a difference, definitely. I wonder what it's doing now since the bed is this far forward. I wonder if the 00 on this machine is here. I do like the fact that it did that calibration. That means that at least to itself, it's leveled in terms of the Z and the Y. So now we'll see how the ABL works. I mean, right now it's not even over the bed. The bed goes a little bit further than where the hot end is. So when it's moving at this speed, it's silent. Okay, it ended up going where it needs to. That was the first point, looks like. All right, we're off to the races. Yeah, and so it looks like the points are lighting up here in red. So we are on 2 right now. And now we're on 3. Very nice. So it is a 5x5 grid, which is quite a bit. But there's no springs. There's nothing to adjust. Single click. Kind of like the Mingda Magician Pro, which was really fun to use, actually. Yeah, the BQBX does do that. I'm designing a dynamic cantilever mod. Wow, dynamic. What does that mean? That sounds cool. Myth sandwich. Hopefully it prints faster. I don't know. I did see some marketing material that said it prints fast, like 300, but it's going to print slow because my profile is slow. But I just wanted to print something. Can you say slow? Everyone wants fast and fast and fast, but I wanted to print first, right? Like, we want that first. Interestingly enough, by the way, it's going around the perimeter first. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but that's what it's doing. Like, it went to the top and then the right side, and now the bottom, and now it's going on the left side here. So that's definitely interesting. Extruder tensioner, it says. Interesting. Cool. I'm really digging just how different this thing is. I hope it's loud. Can you hear it, by the way, through my headphones? It's definitely not silent. No fast printing or no printing. No, I was saying about the lowering of the Z-axis, not printing speed. Yeah, I mean, I can hear it. I have a feeling it's going to be not an absolutely silent machine. And you know what? That's not that crazy. Like, think about the X1 carbons. Like, those are crazy loud, from what I understand. I don't have one, obviously. and people are perfectly fine with it because they print fast and they print great. So if this thing performs well, the sound is secondary. It's louder than your music. Okay, good to know that it's picking it up. Yeah, it's definitely not silent. Man, I really like the color of that teal. Like that is just a nice color. I wish I would have printed this rabbit with it. This caddy. That would have been. This thing would have been nice in that color. Maybe I'll print the bus. There's a lot of these models that I've yet to print. Just haven't had the time to get into that. Oh, we got more spam. Block. See ya. Spammer. Sorry about that, guys. They come in there. I can't do anything about it. Oh, we're done, looks like. All right, so it is about 20 millimeters off the bed. So it said put this down underneath. And then it said to do what? Oh, I got to pull that email up. When the auto bed leveling is complete, the nozzle should hover about 20 millimeters above the bed. You can click the minus symbol to lower the nozzle. Okay. Yep, we're going down. Here, I'm going to go to the 0.5 so it goes faster. Oh, yeah. Okay, now let's go back to this one. Down some. Once you get a little closer, you can go even more. So right now it's in 0.1 millimeter increments, and then you can go to 0.05. So right now it's too tight. I'm going to go 0.05 and hit the plus somewhere. No, too high. Go back down. There we go. Comfortable with that. Let's go ahead and hit save. Perfect. So easy. So easy. Outside of assembly and plugging things in and dealing with the heft, very straightforward. All right. I guess it's time to print, isn't it? Let's go ahead and heat everything up again. So let me go ahead and get this to not 71. Let's do 60. And while that's heating up, let's throw this filament in there. See how this works. Pull it back forward. Just goes in. How do I know? I think we have to use the filament button. All right, filament in. Yep, it's going. Very easy to use. Digging it so far. I have a feeling that it's going to be super loud. Yeah, I do too. Ear defenders. Doesn't any company make the stepper drivers alone so that they can be soldered only in, so they can be soldered only an integrated board? It'll be pretty hard to solder them without experience in doing something like that before with circuit boards. But obviously they definitely have drivers for many boards that are capable of having drivers that are removable. All right, it's extruding, very straight, no nonsense. All right, so I'm going to hit stop. That's plenty to feed through there. All right, here we go. Back, print, calibration cube. Let's go. So keep in mind, this is not the profile for this machine. We're just doing this to test on this live stream. So this little menu, I know it's impossible to see, and I will work in more cameras, guys. I will, especially if you're enjoying these live feeds. So we can pause it, we can stop it. I'm not sure what those arrows are. Looks like there's fans, temperatures, the typical stuff, and then there's a little gear. So resume. Okay, so Z offset in case you need to. You can turn the filament sensor off, and you can adjust the flow rate. So everything you would want to do when this thing is printing. So what's it heating up right now? Okay, so the bed's at 55 degrees. So it's just heating up the bed. Oh no, we're out of booze. Yeah, get a board that lets you change the separator drivers. Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of really good ones. BQ makes some amazing boards, man. That company is just pumping them out, and they're amazing. It's a bit louder than my ANET A3. No way. I have an A3. There's nothing louder than an A3. No chance. It might just come out that way in the speakers. Check out this board, Buzz. This board is amazing, and I will at some point find a use. Maybe that Voron you guys suggested. This is just an absolute epic board. The Big Tree Tech Manta. Drivers go here. Many of them. Right here you can put a Raspberry Pi CB4, or the Compute Module 4, or one of their own CB units that they have. Individual fan controls, pretty much infinite expandability. Do whatever you want with this. You can turn any printer into just an absolute beast, or build your own. Has has networking, and obviously with the power of Clipper natively. Crazy board, and it's extremely affordable. I think you'd be surprised by the price. I also have some other BQ boards that are smaller, that are equally as cool. What is this little guy? Oh yeah, this is the CB module. It's supposed to replace the Raspberry Pi. Little guy. Love the company. Wish I did more stuff with them. Duck. Yeah, we got to collect the ducks. I have a bunch on this benchy, although you can't see it because it's being attacked by this giant octopus. What are we doing here? 60, 60, 200. We printing yet? Oh, yeah, it's going up. Oh, I bet you it's going to go through its entire leveling because I don't have it disabled in the start G code. That's okay. We're already here. It's already doing it. It's all good. Smash the like button if you're into Fedor's heavy metal. You guys are on it today with the jokes. It's true. Do it. Out of booze. Stop the stream. Yeah, be right back. Hum-ho, just waiting for a print. Like watching paint dry, right? Is that board for the Ultimate Aquila? Yes and no. I have the... What's the other board that I have? I don't remember at this point. So all my parts for that machine are under this table. Oh, here we go. Look at that thing go. Also. Yes. All right, let me bring you guys down here. So, are we too low? No. It looks fantastic. Maybe a little bit too low. Let's see. Let's go to the Z. Let's go a little bit higher. Let's do a click. Let's do another click. How are we looking? A little bit close. It's pretty good. We'll keep it there. It'll be fine. Okay. You know, it's a good looking machine, right? Like, that looks good. I dig it. All right, here it goes in its actual speed. And it might actually be... Also, why is it printing this fast with my other profile? Like, it shouldn't be going this fast. Hold on. Let's see what I have the settings at. The print speed's 120. I guess I was booking it with this machine, huh? I'm gonna keep it here. All the advertising says it can do up to 300. I mean, it's buzzing, guys. This is not a quiet machine. It sounds like a desktop printer, like Morse code. I don't mind that it's loud. If the print quality is good, and it's printing at 120 right now, I'm game. Sign me up. Sidewinder speeds, yeah. Yeah, this is Sidewinder speeds. Loving the silent stepper drivers. I mean, this is just lead screws, guys. This is lead screws just spinning in there. Also, my table does not like this. Like, my table is just going ham right now. It's holding on. You know, it has this like humming vibration through it. I don't know, man. I dig it. Let's let it ride. Also, I completely forgot to look at any of the settings at all. I have no idea what the infill or the walls are. Nothing. But it's definitely cranking away. Let's see. Yeah, it's already 10% in. So, only be a couple more minutes. I love this little window, by the way, that lets you see what it's doing. That's great. Great. Love it. Why not have the window bigger? Why have a window? Why not just have it cut, you know, like all the way across so that you can see? Am I right? Looks really clean. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not confident in that first layer because, you know, I'm not 100% focused. Like, I was just relaxing with you guys, chatting, kind of hanging out. But otherwise, it's good. So far, so good. It is an inductive probe. It's one of those little laser probes. It's building a 4-bed house out of clay. So 100% infill. I think it's way less. I think it's like 10 or something, maybe even like 7. So one of the things that just like Snapmaker did, because this is such a robust chassis, I have a feeling they want it to be modular to some degree. I have a feeling you'll be able to get these units that take only 4 screws to put on and off. They'll all have their own sensor to do whatever they need. And I can see having like a hot one, a cold one. You know, I wouldn't put laser engravers or any engraving stuff on here. It's just, this is a desktop thing, you know? I'm talking just strictly for printing. Can you speed it up on the control? Let it run 50%, then to see if it can max out on the top half. Well, how about I make it go even faster if we have control of the speed? So let's see. So there is these two arrows, and there's 100%. I'm not going to touch that. Hold on, let's go here. Resume print, flow rate, material detection, and fan. So it's got to be this. Let's click it. Yeah, well, 110. Okay, so I'll go back to 100. So let it get to, it's at a quarter right now. Let's get a little closer to 50%, and I'll turn the speed up. We know it's printing at 120. So anyone better at math than me? I'm a art major. What percentage should I put it at to have it print at, let's say, I don't know, if we do double it, I don't want to go 300, or not 300, 240. I don't know. You guys tell me. This is your stream. You're here with me at 3 hours in. Ramming speed. RAM raid speed. 150% at least? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. 200%? Blow the Ned out the door. That's gotta mean something. 201. I like that, Buzzbird. Is true speed set in the slicer or the printer? It's in the slicer. So this is 120, as far as I understand. I didn't expect it to go this fast. How fast have you printed with a Sidewinder? Go faster. This is as fast as I printed with a Sidewinder. I'm definitely not not the person that's gonna push the machines. I'd rather get a clean print, honestly. 175. 200 would be 240. What do you guys think? Just double it? It said it can go up to 300, I think, right? Well, let me see if I still have the page up. AL13 310. Man, I gotta say, it's a good looking machine. $640. That's probably fair. In fact, I think that might even be cheap for what it is. Like, in terms of just its materials. Like, that's probably a good deal. I'm just looking at what it says somewhere on here. So it says high-speed printing, all aluminum. It says 250 to 300 millimeters per second, max build speed. It can print your work greatly faster than traditional 3D printers. So while the example here is other machines can print at 100 millimeters per second, and they get to about 30% progress. By that time, at 300 millimeters per second, the progress on this machine is 70. So let's go to 200%. That's what I'll do. Hold your ears, mate. Yeah, it's gonna be loud. I gotta say, like, yes, it's loud, and I can't say what you guys are hearing, but it's not too bad. Like, this is what a paper printer sounds like. Obviously, it has similar mechanics to a paper printer. Are we 50%? We're 40. Pretty close. It looks good. Here, let me. You guys want to see it again? Like, that looks great. All right, let me put this thing into blazing speed mode. Dot matrix printer. Wow, that's really kicking it old school right there. All right, I'm kicking it 200%. 1 million. All right, we're going. 200. Hit it. My table is going to break. My table is going to break. Chill. Chill, table. I guess it's like a little damper, right? The whole table moves with the printer. I mean, that thing is going. It's been 15 minutes. Sorry about the camera movement, guys. Like I said, I'll work on getting a second camera. Eric, I think we just saw it was $630. Check the links in the description. I think I put Amazon there. It might be out on Amazon. You might have to go to the official website. And I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I don't have any codes or anything like that. Like I said, I just thought that this was a cool setup. And I thought it'd be cool to show it off. Just to see something different, you know? The louder you scream, the faster we go. I mean, from here, the quality looks so good. Print the gimbal. One left in stock on Amazon. That's really surprising. When I was getting that link, there were 6. So people are buying them. There's must be videos somewhere on the internet. Wow. It's really humming now. Which side? The stepper's on this side? Can I feel any heat? Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like warm. That's interesting because this whole thing is essentially a heat sink for them. Are they on the bottom down here? These are cold. And then back here, I'm guessing? Nothing. So just this one because it's a single, but it's not even. That's nothing. Also, I have a thermometer, right? This is a mess. I need to redo this entire place. I don't know where it is. That's useless. I have no idea where that is. Oh well, I can't tell you, but it's not hot. Oh, I think I was showing somebody this board. Buzz, was it you? What we got? Oh, this is a screen. This is the little TBT screen. TFT screen. Where's that board? It's like the V3. I don't know. Let's just focus on this printer, I guess. Barely focus on one thing as it is. Check your foundation after. HICTOP by Snapmaker. Yeah, you know, I got nothing to say about that. I know nothing about it. I just know that these guys reached out, and I've worked with them before for their little tiny products. And I saw this, and I was like, wow, ambitious. I'm ready. What model board? Oh, all right. I guess you are interested, huh? Big. Here's the box to it. SKR Mini E3. Great board. I did a video on it. Where is it? Here it is. Remember the size of that Manta? Look at this little cutie. All right. Get her up there. Look at this beautiful board. I love this thing. It has a nice heat sink, tons of options, Fan's always off, which is nice. Fan's off when nothing is in use. Just a little bored. One thing that's kind of weird, no USB-C. I found that odd, considering all the other features. All right, looks like we're 20 minutes in. It's at 97%. Nice tool. I hope that this isn't just a pre-production thing. I hope that they hook us up. All right, we're done. Okay, it has some issues. It's not like the cleanest ever. Let's see. Print done. Estimated 20 minutes. Okay, so 20-minute cube, and half of that was at 200% speed. Come on, why can't I get these undone? Hey, I can hear the music again. All right. They have none for sale on Amazon UK. Yeah, I'm not sure. I was under the impression that this is still in a pre-production format and that they were fixing some issues that they noticed. They specifically mentioned to me that the glue on the backside has been replaced with hardware because the main cooling fan, is glued. I don't remember exactly what else, but outside of firmware, I mean, we had no issues here. Let's see how this thing did. Popped right off like it was nothing. All right. Let's see. No light back here, huh? Let's see, the top is not the best ever. But also keep in mind the infill was extremely low. So here's a good example of me probably needing to turn the temperature up. See how there's a difference in color? The bottom looks good in terms, but it looks like the top should have probably gone up to maybe 210 on the hot end there. So it's worth saying that this is probably would be much better. Like, this thing weighs nothing. This would probably be much better at the proper temperature. Let's see the Y. I mean, you could see that divide. Now, check it out, guys. No ghosting. Is there any ghosting at all? Maybe a hair on the top side. I mean, I got to say, I'm pretty impressed with this. I'm pretty impressed. Here's the bottom. Could be better, but like I said, I wasn't really confident in that first layer because I was just kind of going. So, not the most elaborate testing. But as far as going that fast without a profile, without any knobs, that's what I said, 10 degrees. Yeah, adding 10 degrees would have been key. I was just kind of flying by the seat of my pants, as they say, on that one. It's a nice teal, although I'd never print anything in that color. Yeah, I think the color is great. I don't know what I would print for myself in this color, but if I wanted something for the shelf or to make it for somebody, the color is awesome. It's a really good teal. Also, I wonder what would it be like to put multiple spools here. It's not like this thing would ever sag, but as far as this thing goes right here, this little, I guess you would just feed it in. Like, there's a reason why they went with this, right? To hold multiple spools. Just curious because I have to run 3D Max hot. I usually run it at 200, but we also printed crazy fast. Yeah, it under extruded at the top, not on the sides, just on the top. So yeah, it just needs some tweaks. This is out of the box on a profile for a different printer. I can't be mad at this. The takeaway, guys, the takeaway here is that if you look at the letters, Like, yeah, can I keep it in the sun and still show you guys? In the sun, in the light. Here we go. If you look at the letters, if I printed this on an unmodified stock Ender 3 or Aquila, this X and Y would look like there's three of them. And that lower side, that's looking good. Let me get my calipers. Although, once again, I think the batteries in this thing are dead. No, we're okay. Let's see, 0, 0. So this is the X. 20 on the dot? Really? This is the Y. 19.9. Let's see the Z. 20 on the dot? You guys kidding me? Well, draw your own conclusions, ladies and gentlemen. HICTOP, I doubt you're watching this after 3 hours, or even if you watched it. But man, if Zoomy paid attention to this stream, I'm just kidding. I see you in here now. Yeah, wow, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the quality of the cube. First thing printed, nothing elaborate, but the speed, the ease at which we got this thing printing, the sheer beastness. If you wanted to toss this through a window, it would do its job perfectly. I gotta let this piece cool. The first layer was definitely out of whack there. All right, guys, what do you think? We only said bad things to you about you. Yeah, good to see you in here, Zoomy. Tried to get our other friend over here too, but he's too busy with his printer. Or maybe not. Well, I think that's it, guys. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. My personal opinion on this extreme first impression of a pre-prototype machine. Like I said, I'm completely unaffiliated with them. I just thought that it would be really interesting to showcase something outside of, machines even in this price range that just don't look like this. So $640. I know that's kind of pushing the brand new machine that just came out by Bamboo. So you might have some choices. Like if you were in a market, like that brand is really proving itself right now, and their machine is just a little bit more. Is it $700? Yeah, like I think it's a fair price. You don't need guns if you got a printer like that. Yeah, I mean it's just a boss. Like $699, so $700. So this is under. I don't know if it's in the same class. Like Bamboo really they really did it with the speed, the Core XY. This has its own uniqueness. This is its own thing. I don't know how they could sell this for cheaper. I just don't know. This has too much. Like, also, you can't push this? No, you can. This has too much going on for it to be any cheaper. All metal, crazy robust. The construction is just nuts. I don't know. I don't think it could be cheaper. I honestly think that this is a fair price for a printer. What do you guys think about the price? Honestly, like, if someone was like, hey, here's this printer, it has cool mechanics, it prints fast, it could do this without any tweaks, what would you think? $640. Is that too much? I can't print that for you. Man, I feel bamboozled buying a Creator Pro 2. Yeah, I've never been a fan of those machines, to be honest. Is the size and speed is decent. Yeah, 300 by 300 machine. What about the maintenance? I can't say. I've literally only owned this machine for 3 hours. Well, I've owned it for months, but I've only taken it out for, in the past 3 hours. So, yeah, I have a feeling that it's fair. I think just Bamboo is really just, they're not making a ton. Well, they're making money, okay? But they're not making as much as they could be making. And I think they're killing it. They're just disrupting the entire market. I think they're killing it. But I think this is fairly priced for what this is. I want to see more. I want to tweak this more. I want to make a good profile that's solid speed. I think just based on this, I wouldn't do 240 mils. Maybe I would stick to around 200. Maybe like 180, 200. 200. I'd probably make a profile at 200 and just see what it does. The fact that there's no ghosting here is incredible to me. Nothing. I mean, I see nothing and I'm peeping it. Like, I'm really in here, like zoomed in with my 2020. So the only thing I can kind of see is the cooling. Like the little tips of the X and Y aren't the best. And the cool, I mean, it's just a fan directly right there, but it's not, I can see that where the fan is blowing could be improved. The problem there is that it's metal. Like the part that the fan is all connected to, it's welded on with a spot weld. Like I would almost cut that off and print a different cooler there, and maybe they redid it. I don't know. Maybe they redid it actually. Before I sign off here, let's just peek if they have better photos of the hot end on their site. Looks like they made the window bigger, which is nice. Yeah, linear rails, man, that's good. Little backlash springs on there. No belts. I don't know. Metal Titan, Prince TPU. No, okay, I see it. No, they did not change the cooling duct. The duct looks the same. Let me keep looking. Yeah, I like that they opened this more. That's nice. Like seeing this open more is better. According to this, it's a 32-bit board with TMC 2209s, and it has removable steppers. I didn't open it to see that for myself, but that's nice. Yeah, full specs on here. Speed up to 300 millimeters per second. Yeah, me personally, I would stick to 200. Just to tune it, kind of. Cool. I dig it. I'm a fan. Like, I want to see it more. Like, I'm not upset. So, yeah. Industrial machine. I don't know about industrial, but maybe I just came back to read that, so I don't know if you were talking about something else. Thanks, bro. Great stream. Hey, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I appreciate it. I literally thought I was going to do maybe like an hour and a half, and here I am 3 hours and 20 minutes later. Yeah, HICTOP, I don't know if you're watching this at all, but, it's super heavy duty, which we like. I like the idea of the whole thing. It's easy to assemble, even though there's a ton of hardware. It's still easy to do. Like, it was mindless. I love the construction of the whole thing. I think it looks good. I know that's not really important, but it looks good. It doesn't look intimidating. It looks like a 3D printer, if that makes sense. And if you guys say that you've already improved it to some degree based on people's feedback, I don't even have that much to add. I would like to see a slightly better cooling duct that faces the nozzle a bit more. I think it's a little too far. I do think it's a little wacky that the sensor can't can't work on a hotbed. Like, that's kind of odd. It should work on a hotbed to some degree. if that's a problem, I think maybe even change the sensor to something that could. I think having this when leveling be at the right temperature is just better. So that's nice. You know, I love the PEI. I love the fact that before printed it leveled. It's good. I even like this thing, surprisingly. This wacky little wedge. I like it, guys. Thank you, everybody. The Feder drink whiskey. I'm not gonna say, but I did have a little brewski. There's some left in here. All right, I'm gonna cut it off here before I go too deep. 3 hours, 20 minutes. Woo! Thank you, everybody, so much for all your support. And thank you, everybody, for just watching and hanging out with me. I know this isn't necessarily super high entertainment excitement, so I really appreciate you guys sticking it out with me. Like I said, I'm not really affiliated in any way. I just thought it'd be cool to show off and kind of hang out and talk to you guys and answer some questions. So, all right. See you, everybody. Join that Discord if you haven't. Like the video if you guys enjoyed it. I know YouTube likes that kind of stuff. Or something. Or not. All right. See you, everybody. Enjoyed it. Hope you did too.